Yeah. So the first thing is look for your 1 hour cross.
Right.
All right.
On the RSI.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
So
the biggest.
I always have it set to 1 hour at first, and I look and I go, okay, all right, 1 hour. So to me, this happened at 12 in the afternoon,
Correct.
right?
Mm-hmm.
According to this.
Yeah, your time. Whatever time you have your set in your mountain, UTC or whatever that is down in.
Yeah, well, it's 10:15 p.m. now, and this happened at basically 12 or
Yeah, yeah.
1300,
Make
so
sure
one
your
o'clock.
time, like if you look to your bottom right, you see the time. It's on UTC. Is that your time?
It says UTC. Uh, is UTC? Is that my time?
Where are you at?
I'm in Florida, Eastern.
So you would go up to your Eastern time. So that be? Mm,
I didn't even know you could change this. New York.
all right. So now that'll be your time. So go back to your time. What time does that say?
Uh,
No, no, no. You're where the 1 hour crossed.
um, Now it's 9 o'clock, which is only an hour ago.
When it says 9, it's 9 a.m. Those are military times.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm not used to military time, so
Yeah, so
okay. All
just
right.
does 24. So basically, once you get past noon, 1 o'clock is so it goes into the next.
1100
Yeah,
and 1200
yeah,
and yeah. Okay.
yeah.
All right. So this is military time. So that's 9 a.m.
So okay, here's the basis, right? So go to your um, I
So
lost you. Oh,
normally this is what I do, and you tell me if I'm wrong real quick. One, and this is where I think a lot of my questions are going to come from. If I can kind of steer for a second, is that all right? If
yeah,
I
yeah.
drive for a minute. All right. So I look at the RSI, and I
Mm-hmm.
see here that it's going down. Right now that was 9 a.m. So we're here now. We're not there anymore.
Correct.
Right. And in my brain, and I think this is probably my biggest hang up, I think to myself, why am I looking at something that happened at 9 a.m., right? Because we're already going back up again. If I start thinking about here, so I go to the 2 hour, and on a 2 hour, the RSI crossed at 10.
Mm-hmm.
So previously it was at 9, which would have been like right about, well, right before that, right
Mm-hmm.
here, 8
Mm-hmm.
to 8 to 10. So if I draw a little box up here, it's going to be in the past. It's not going to be in the future,
Correct.
right? And I see you drawing boxes in these videos, but you're doing it in the past, and that
Mm-hmm.
just it messes with me because I'm like, well, wait a minute, how does that help me trade in the future?
Okay, so
So,
yeah, yeah, because what it does is it shows you what you're looking for.
so like right now, I would say we're basically going to build a box like right here, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be the 2 hour, and then the 1 hour was kind of like right here. So if anything, I could maybe go like from here to here, right? And then from there, we go to the 30 minutes. All right, here's my box again.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, this is back at 9 a.m.
Right.
So this is why I'm like, okay, why am I trying to identify trades inside of this box when we're supposed to be over here? So that's one of my questions, and maybe that's an easy one for you to answer. But then I look at this and I go, okay, so the trend was red. We're going up to green. I don't see a red trend line coming down, but I obviously see the red going down. I
Mm-hmm.
see a red moon, right?
Correct.
So now I'm going to go look for I've heard you do, sometimes you'll go to 5 minute, sometimes you'll go to 15 minute, and then I've heard you go to 3 minute here and also to confirm an entry as well. So I'll go to like 15 minute at this point, and I can't look over here, even though that's where I would think I would be trading right now. I have to look back over here, and I'm like, okay, so I see where the red trend was right here.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where you would say, okay, so I would put the signal in the Discord saying red moon, 15 minute, headed down, RSI 1 hour, headed down, and then I would say red trend line headed down on the 15 minute, and then I would say 3 minute, and this is where again I'm really confused because here I am supposed to be trading over here, but I'm over here and I'm saying red line right here going down, and I have a red moon going down, so my entry should have, in my opinion, already happened back then,
Correct.
right?
Right.
So how does that help me with the current trade?
Because, so what that is the example of a
And am
trade
I
that
just
happened.
missing something?
No, no, that's the trade that happened. So if you were watching that trade, that's where you would have got in, and that's the result you would have got.
Well, and that's a fun game to play, but that doesn't help anybody. So,
Yeah.
I,
So everybody, if so, what you're looking at is examples of when things happen, what they become, right?
right.
So now you need to move to the current time and find that repeating process.
Well, that's where I haven't found any videos on that yet. So I guess you
It's
can't make a video unless it's live, right?
right.
All
So
right.
so go to your so here's your steps, right? And these are the steps you'll follow. You ready? Write them down.
Hold on. Let me grab a pen and paper again. I got so many notes on this
You're good.
stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna simplify this. So basically, there's a bunch of different trades you can do. Okay. So
And I wrote a bunch of them down that you told us to do.
what we're gonna do here is we're gonna simplify it and put it to where you're looking for the beginning and very specific trade. Okay. So first thing you need is you need the 2 hour crossing.
2 hour crossing.
Yep. So
Right.
when you have alerts, right, the signals that you're giving out are basically just letting people know what you're seeing, right? So when somebody puts something like 1 hour crossing Matic, right,
Sure.
that's just to let you know that in the future there's a possible trade on Matic.
So here's a 2 hour crossing.
Yeah. So if you were watching the coin and you went and checked on it and you were looking at the coin at 10 o'clock. Well, actually, it'd be the next one over because it lags. So it'd be one to the right. No, just one space. There you go. So
Why do you do that one instead of this one?
because that's before it happens.
Oh, okay.
So after
All right.
that happens, it would be in between that time frame of 10 and 12. So probably about 11
right.
o'clock, you would have seen that the 2 hour is now crossing.
So
So
that's the 2 hour. So
you would
do
post that.
one.
You would say
So
2 hour
right.
Matic crossing. Okay? And what that
Right.
means,
So,
it tells
right.
everybody at that point that they can go look at Matic and decide if that's a trade they're going to make.
All right. So here's the 1 hour crossing.
Now move that left line. Grab that left line. Move it a little more to the right. I'll tell you when. So it has to be one pass. So go. Then one more. One more. That's the 1 hour crossing. You have to give it room.
It has to be out.
Yeah, it has to be you have to. So a lot of times you'll see it faster than that, but the reason why we do it this way is because we account for everybody's lag, internet, computer, etc. Right? So
Okay.
now change that color box. Go up to the top there. 1 hours are always white.
Oh, I didn't know there was any specific.
Okay.
I've heard you use two different colors before. So
Yeah, 2 hours are yellow.
okay.
So now
All right. So
you don't, and all you have to do here is you can make another box, make it yellow, and put it where the 2 hour crosses, and then hold it and move it all the way until the 2 hour actually comes back up.
so the 2 hour crosses right. I can't really click on it.
Grab
It
a
won't let me.
clean the go to the box again, make a new box. Go up, grab a box to your left, the rectangle. No, yeah, there you go. All right, so now, yeah, somewhere around there. Make that yellow. Okay, there's your 2 hour. Okay. So let me see if you lined that up.
But the 1 hour is not quite inside that.
Correct. So hold on. All right, so right there, that would be your 2 hour crossing, right? And then that holds until it comes back up. All right, now go to your 4 hour.
Okay, that I've never gone to. I figured if it was showing on my 2 and 1, I wouldn't need to go back even further.
Bigger the time frames, the more powerful the drag. So go to your 4 hour.
Okay.
Find the 4 hour crossing. This line, this box, you're going to make red. Yeah, right there. You had it. Go back. Right there. Yep.
Yeah, I was trying to move this. Obviously, it's not.
And then put it where it bounces up, where it's touching right now. Because in the current trade, it's on its way up.
So where it bounces?
Yeah,
here?
right there. Yep, yep. Now make that red. Okay. So the whole ideal here is these are trading zones. Okay. You want to trade within the trend zone. Okay. The 4 hour is your trend zone. Okay. That's the biggest area that you want to trade in. Right. So from there to there, that is a downward trend. Okay.
Right, but it's already happened.
Yeah, yeah. But these patterns repeat. Right. So now
Okay.
let's go back to the 1 hour. So now we know where the 4 is. Let's hit the 1. Okay, so now what I want you to do here is go back to the 1, and I want you to start at the 4 hour and make another white box where the 1 hour is.
Over here?
Yeah, yeah. See where the 1 hour go, keep going to your left. Yeah, click the box. Go to your left. See where the 1 hour starts to come? Yeah. Move one more to the right.
Yeah.
Right there. Now put that white box in there and hold that and pull it all the way across until it actually breaks up a little bit, right, a little bit more. Keep going. That's just on the floor. Keep going until it actually makes a move up. Right there. Okay, make that white. Has to be purple, baby.
Now,
Yeah. So, okay, that's a 1 hour in there, right? And then the
Right.
next time the 1 hour comes is on that box right there. Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
I mean, there's a green, but
Yeah, yeah, but that's because the 1 hour is going up.
no, I'm saying there's a long position, you know. But
It depends, right? Yeah, it depends, right? So now, the next thing you want to do here is let me take a look here. So there's your 1 hour coming down, and go ahead and move that box that last white box and pull it all a little more to the left. No, last one. The one to the right. Yeah. Get the right edge. Yeah. Yep. No, the right edge. Right edge. That one's fine. Yeah. Drag it to the right till you see it come up. Keep going until it comes up.
all the way over here?
Yeah. See where it goes up?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought you just do it to where it hits the bottom.
No, I mean if it gets to the bottom, it can stay on the bottom. Okay.
Okay.
That all depends on the value. All right. So now let's go back to
So
the.
if this thing had started, just hypothetically, let's say it started looking like this right here, then I would have stopped it right here, right?
Yeah. If that started going up, then it's reversing.
Okay.
All right. So now head over to your 2 hour. And let's make
Even
sure.
though we're still working in the past.
Yeah, because you have to understand what you're looking for.
Okay.
So now, go to that earlier box, put your 2 hour in there.
This one?
Yeah, you see where the 2 hour crosses? Yep. Put another box. No. That's the 1 hour. That's the 1 hour. Make a new box.
Oh, make another one.
Yeah, because you're on the 2 hour. So it has to be yellow.
Okay.
Go to your left a little. Right there.
Well, it's technically right here, isn't it? But you
Right
said
there.
go
Yeah.
after that.
Yep. Okay, now that goes all the way until it goes up right there. Boom. Make that yellow.
Okay.
Okay. So now this is pretty much this section of this trade. Okay. So what we're looking to...
When you say this section, what do you mean? Like we're looking at the tail end, you mean? Or...
No, most guys caught this before this happened. But
No.
this is what happens after it happens. Right? So this is how you
Right,
can...
and that's all I've been able to figure out since.
Yeah, that's why we're going to... Your job is to map this out before it happens. All right? So here. What you see here is you see where the first white box is. See how the 1 hour starts to go down?
Yes, sir.
So if you notice that, right, you at that moment at see what time it is. What time is it on there? Go to the first white box. So at midnight,
Oh.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
at midnight, you would have called out Matic 1 hour cross.
But that was Tuesday night. That wouldn't.
Yeah,
Okay.
and some guys called that out.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So when you see that, or you get an alert, okay, and we're going to go over the alerts that you're going to set. The alerts that you're going to set from now on are going to be very simple, okay? You're going to set
But
them.
I set a ton of RSI alerts. Like
Yeah.
you said.
The only ones you need, right? The only ones you need are on the 2 hour.
Oh, no more 1 hours.
You can pick. So here's what you can do, right? So think of it like this: the 2 hour is where you're going to make your trade. The 1 hour gives you an alert of what's coming. So you can set your alerts on your 1 hours, and when that alert happens, then you can go take a look and move your alert from the 1 hour to the 2 hour, right? Because that's a trade that's coming up. Because normally it could take 1 to 3 hours before the 2 hour actually goes down. Okay.
Okay.
So
So
this is like ahead of
So
time.
we're in the past. So we're in the past at this point. How
Yeah.
do we get to the present?
Okay. Well, first you got to walk through the steps here. What you have to do in the present. Okay. So you would call out that there's a 1 hour Matic cross. Okay. So if you set an
Right.
alert on your 1 hour, once the 1 hour triggers,
Now, when I set an alert, all I'm supposed to be doing is clicking here. Well,
now you go to the RSI. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Just
the
click on the
RSI,
side. Click on the
sorry.
side. Yeah. You go to the RSI. Right click.
and I'm looking.
Mm-hmm.
And
Add
then
alert. Yep. And it would be for crossings. Right. So there you go. And then you would put it.
Once per bar, right?
Yeah, you could put it once per bar. And then on there, just so you understand what it's for, right? I normally, right after RSI, I delete all that stuff until it goes to Matic. Yeah. So now when that pops up, I know it's a RSI for Matic on the 2 hour.
Yeah, and I do too.
Yeah,
I
okay.
usually do that. You'll
Okay.
see all my alerts. I have a ton of them.
Yeah. So what you want to do here is you would start off by putting alerts on your 1 hour, right? So that way it kind of gives you an idea of what's coming. So if you're not sitting around the trade or actively sitting on a trade, then what would happen is you would set your alerts on there so that when something happens, you have an hour, 2 hours to kind of like,
So lately, I'm doing a lot of sitting because I'm kind of at a standstill with my
yeah,
truck being stuck
yeah.
at
This
the
is just
dealership and I'm waiting.
just overall. So when you're waiting, so that alert right there, that gives you the heads up that something's happening, right? Meaning that at that time, you would then go to your 2 hour, right? So you start off with your alerts and you put them on your 1 hour. When that 1 hour goes off, you would then rotate that alert, edit it, and change it to the 2 hour, or delete it and change it to the 2 hour, or simply add a 2 hour, depending if you have extra alerts, right? So a lot of times if I have 20
So I need this. Because I had written 2 hour crossing RSI and there's no alert. So I don't do an alert on 2 hour first. I do a 1 hour first.
Yeah, so correct. Right, so here, Bryce, let me say it again. So if you want an early warning signal,
Yeah.
you set the alert on the 1 hour. This gives you 1, 2, maybe 3 hours to go look at that review before the 2 hour crosses. Sometimes the 2 hour crosses with the 1 hour. Okay?
Okay.
There's no set rule to that. So by rule of thumb, a lot of times guys put their alerts on the 1 hour because that's the beginning of the reversal. And when they get that alert, whether it takes them 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or whatever, when they go look, they can then look at the 2 hour and determine how long it's going to be, whether it's going to be 30 minutes, 2 hours, or 4 hours, right? But at that point, you get the alert that lets you know that something's coming up on that coin, right?
Okay.
It could just be a slight pullback and then it heads back up, right? But it just lets you know that it's at the point where it's crossing and it's starting to, have activity of change, right?
Sure.
Now, once that happens, you can then add another alert to the 2 hour and say, hey, you know what? This coin's starting to heat up. Let me know when the 2 hour crosses. Set your alert. Now that's an alert that alert I kind of do like this. I put most of my alerts on my 1 hour. And then when the 1 hours go off, I have 5 extra alerts that I have that I don't use. And then when the 1 hour goes off, so let's say you have 20 alerts, right? On a pro or something like that.
I do
14.
have a pro
Yeah.
now,
So
but it's probably gonna expire soon.
yeah. So basically, what you do is you run 10 on coins that you're seeing that are spiking, right? So 5 of them you put on your favorite coins that you like to trade, like CFX,
I
PO.
added all the ones that you said, CFX,
Yeah. So
Soul,
Soul, right, the
and
basic one. So normally you do like 5 that you love to trade because some people find like one guy trades render all the time. Wild was hot for a while. So just coins that you like to that you deal with and don't jump crazy and they don't have crazy movement, right? So the ones that are more steady, right? So once you find those coins, Matic and all those, right? You put the first 5 on there. The second 5, you put them on other coins. Maybe people are talking about, oh, this coin's pumping, right? You throw it in there. Maybe you see a coin's pumping, right? And you kind of put the other 5 on those type of coins. Now, as the days go on, you're finding people are trading coins, making money on a coin. You can see everybody's doing their wins. Go find that coin, put an alert on that coin, right? So now you got about 15 coins that you have in your sleeve. Now, save 5 of the alerts. And when you get to the point where one of those 1 hour goes off, you have 5 extra spaces that you can come in and then add the last 5 alerts. You can use them on 5 coins that the 1 hour went off. And you would then add a 2 hour alert to that because now you want to know when the 2 hour crosses. Okay?
so once 1 hour alert bars crossing, then add 2 hour alert
For
to see
trade.
when that crosses.
Right. So now, once you have that in position, right? That's the beginning of the reversal. So right here, you can see where the 1 hour started, the 2 hour came after it, right? So this is where you would be getting alerts. Now, once that 2 hour hits in that section there, right? What you would be looking for, right? And a lot of times what I like to go to instantly is the entry, right? So here's your entry. How you enter every single trade is on the 3 minute. Has to have a green moon, has to have the green trend, right? And when you're
I thought it was supposed to be red moon.
yeah. But so if you're going long, green moon, green trend. If you're going short, red moon, red trend. But either way, it has to match what you're doing. So you would have a red moon, red trend. Okay.
So we're back here.
Yeah. No, keep going, keep going. Yeah. Right. So now, get up there into where you can see your. We see the 1 hour crossing.
Go to 1 hour.
On there, right there, the white box. Yeah. Now, spread that out so we can take a closer look at the 3 minute. Yeah.
So there is a red moon right there.
Mm-hmm.
But then it goes to green and it goes to red again.
Yeah. That's fine. So now, spread that out a little bit more. Okay. Yeah, you can take your mouse and open that up a little bit. So make those candles a little bit taller. There you go. Make it wider. So it's go. Yeah.
Wider more.
Yeah. So you can see them. Yeah, and then just drag it back to the right. Yeah, keep going. Okay, so now go to your right where the numbers are. Slide your mouse all the way to the right. Yeah, now scroll up. Make them taller. Just scroll up with your mouse. Yeah. Make them taller. Keep going, and then drag them down. Yep. Keep making them taller. We want to be able to see them. There you go. There you go. All right, now bring them down. Let's go take a look at that 1 hour section. All right, so now when you got that 1 hour alert, you see that? Okay. That white right there.
I didn't get the alert. What are you talking about?
No, I'm just saying if you had your alert set.
I would have gotten one. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So now the entry is based on this: a 1 hour red moon and a 1 hour red trend. Do you see those?
Well, I need to go back to one.
No. I'm sorry, man. 3 minute. That's what I meant. 3 minute red moon, 3 minute red trend. Stay in the 3
Okay,
minutes.
hold on. I messed up.
You're good. You're good. You're good. That's my fault. What I
Um,
meant is on the 1 hour when it triggered. Do you see the 3 minute red moon, 3 minute red trend?
I did.
Yeah.
I mean, uh,
Okay.
it was right here.
Yep. And then look where your trend is. Up
Right
top.
here.
But yeah, up top. Move your mouse up. See where it went red? Right there. That's the
Right
red
there.
trend.
Yep.
Yeah. So that right there would be considered an entry point. So I want you to draw a box on that candle and pull it all the way out to the. Go make a box. Yeah. Start on that. Go to the second candle past it. Yeah. You can fix it in a minute. Just drag it out to the right and to where you see that last red candle almost touching the 200.
And it won't let me do it.
There you go. So now grab that little edge of it.
The edge of okay.
Yeah, the other edge. Right edge, right edge. Yeah, drag to the right. And you're going to go until you see that little bottom piece of the, kind of like where it goes back to green. Yeah, go to the right a little. Yep, yep.
It won't let me get like fine detail for some reason. Like I can't get just to the edge of the red.
No,
It
keep
makes
rolling.
me
No. Just keep going to your right. Keep going to your right. I'll tell you when to stop. Keep going. Yeah, because it has sections, like times. Keep going. Keep going. Right there. Okay, now drag the middle of it down. Okay. Right to the bottom of that little wick candle area. Yeah, right there. Okay, so now on that first candle that you have there, right? We're going to move that edge one candle to the right. No, not that. Yeah, that edge. Yep. Because when that trend comes, you have to allot for lag, okay? Because we don't know what type of PC you have. We don't know whatever. But sometimes you're going to see this lag, okay? Now, this right here, right, you can turn that box green, okay? So in this box here, you have a trade, okay?
what?
A trade. This is a trade that could happen for you, right?
Well, okay, so this is where my brain goes. Wait a minute, this is in the past.
I know, but this, if you were watching this trade, this would be developing like this. You're looking at patterns that happen over and over. The reason why you're looking at the past is so that you can understand what's coming in the future, right? This pattern, just like this, happens over and over and over.
Okay.
And
I
how
know
it-
I can hear you laughing, but it's really a hang up in my head. So
Yeah.
figure this out.
Here's how it goes. How it goes, right? When the 1 hour crosses, it begins this pattern. Okay? Now, when the 1 hour crosses and you get an alert, you would be looking somewhere in this area. Okay? What you would be looking for to enter any trade is a 3-minute red moon, 3-minute red trend. This box right here fits that description. Okay? So now I want you to take a look at go to your left
Now,
and then
what would happen, just hypothetically, let's say there was a green moon right here. Does that mean that the box would have stopped right here?
the green moon, right. So when the green moon comes in, then it would be
Like I've
reversing.
seen them where they go green,
Uh-huh.
red, green, red, green, red, and they're like right in the middle of everything.
Yeah, then they would go in different directions.
Okay.
Right? The point of the 1 hour is to let you know when the direction is pulling down harder than normal.
Right. Okay.
So these trading zones are where you want to lock in your trades. All right? This first trading zone here, hold on one sec. We consider this more like a C trade, right? Or a pullback trade, right? And what that is after something has made a run or a push, there's always the first sell orders, right? Where people have set their orders to sell, profit taking, etc., right? So this is the beginning of that area. Now, this area is only supported by the 1 hour RSI. So it's a weaker area. This is what we call a C trade. The reason why it's a C trade is because it's only supported by the 1 hour. Okay, the 2 hour hasn't got there yet. Okay?
So C trade.
C trades, right? So actually
shows in 1 hour area.
Yeah, so these are what they're more considered more like a pullback trade. So put pullback. What a pullback is after something pumps, there's always breathing. It has to pull back. Nothing goes up forever.
Everybody wants to sell. I get it.
Right. But that's the first pullback. So that's the pullback.
That's usually when I enter and then I lose everything because it goes completely the opposite way that I think it's going to go.
Yeah, because that's not your trading zone. Okay, so now this is a pullback. It's when the 1 hour starts, right? When the 1 hour is by itself, this is a pullback trade, okay? Which means it's just going to pull back and breathe before it pumps again, okay? Now the whole thing comes down to how many people set their buys at that level, how many people agreed that's the price they should sell at, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? So we don't know that, right? So that is the beginning of a pullback, right? The trade that you start looking to get into is basically the next trade, which is where the 2 hour supports the 1 hour.
Here.
Right. So now.
But do I need to stay in the 3 minutes?
Yeah. We're with all the other lines are already drawn. Okay, so now.
So there's a red moon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, red moon, red trend. Red trend already happened.
I'm already in. Well, it started way back over here. So how does that work?
Well, you have to identify the volume in this trade, right? So now here's
where I got some questions then.
Yeah, we're gonna come back to
when
that.
The volume looks like this. Versus when it's on top going this way.
Yeah.
Like, does that mean that tons of people are selling?
Yes.
And tons of people are buying?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly what it looks like. So, right at here.
So how does that? I guess a better question is, how does that affect? Like, I noticed that sometimes this will be green and it will be like off the charts up here, right? Mm-hmm. Where you can't even see it.
Right.
But then for some reason, there's still a red line going across where the red moon is taking over. Like, and I'm like, well, how is that possible if everybody's trying to buy right now?
Okay, so when you buy a stock, is there a seller?
No. Wait. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the red line. So what?
Oh, so that means a ton of people are selling, and then a ton of people are buying.
Right, and the difference on which direction it goes is based on price action, right? So that middle line there with the moons, the two lines that go with the moons are basically the price action of what's happening, right? So think of it like this: the RSI.
I need to write that down because I'm going to forget that part. Hold on. So the line itself in the
those are the moons. Those are the moons. Yeah, we just call it price action. So that's our price action volume.
What's this indicator?
Well, that's our volume. Just put it as volume. That's our volume. So in the volume, we have price action lines, red and green, that go with the moon.
So line itself in the moon indicator volume is indicating
price action, buys.
Price action.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so the price action.
The price action is telling you.
So like right here, when the red is going right here, and it keeps going straight.
Yeah.
Or here. What is the difference between here versus here?
Nothing. They're exactly the same.
Well, they're in different areas though. See, like this one is at the 2.9443 line.
Yeah, all that happened there is that was the moment, right? So go back a little bit. You see where it starts to come down? Right there. Go up to the top. Yeah. That's when the buyers or the sellers were selling more than people were buying.
Selling more than people. How is that possible?
So right there, you have bigger sales coming in, right? And at that moment, the people who were buying weren't buying enough, right? And
Okay.
when that line goes flat, that means they've consolidated and found a mutual point. So if there's 100 people,
So that's a bad time to enter the market, right?
right, because that's consolidating. You need to know what
Well,
direction it's moving.
well, dang it. That's basically when I've always entered the market, when I thought it was calm. That's what I thought was good. Okay.
Well,
All
yeah,
right.
I mean, it's not a bad thing if you understand what's coming next, right? But when it goes calm, right, you see how it's calm right there? Look at the line below it. You see the buyers? So the buyers
Right.
are working their way up, right? And the sellers have slowed down, right?
They always do that. Like, see how crazy it is over here?
Yeah, it's because everybody's buying.
So how come there's nothing right here at all?
Because they're buying a shitload.
So the price action is here,
Uh huh.
and then all of a sudden it dips down and the green takes over, right? Over here.
Yeah, so I
So,
mean, sometimes the orders slow down, right? And that's what you're seeing there. The orders are slowing down. The price action is slowing down, right? But the red kind of comes down a little bit with it and then it regains, right? Meaning that, so what the RSI is when you look down at the RSI, right? The
right
RSI
here.
is telling you basically the relative strength index, right? Meaning that how many people are involved in that current moment, right? So it's just telling you that right now there's a lot of people involved inside this trade, okay? So that could be 1,000 people, 10,000 people, whatever. The what above it tells you how much they're spending, okay? So you can have the RSIs pushing up, but if every buyer, right, say there's 1,000 people buying, pushing the RSI up. So every minute there's 10 people buying, right? But they're only buying $10, right? When you look above to your moon indicator, the volume will tell you how much is coming in. That's price action, that's money, right? So the RSI can be pushing up really hard, but if it's only 10 people every minute spending $10, that just
So is
means,
this a good example right here?
well, that's price action. So like when the RSI and the price action confirms the orders are larger, then you have pushes, right? And how you can
So
tell
here's
is based on the red moving up with the green.
so like right here.
Yeah. That's where the buyers that are coming in are buying more than the people who are selling, right? So they're buying, there's bigger orders, right? There's nobody dumping here. The guys who own are hodling, and the people who are buying are driving the price.
What does hodling mean? Is that holding?
Holding, yeah, just holding.
Oh, that's the hold on for dear life term?
Yeah, yeah. So right there, they're
Oh,
just holding, right? But notice how the red line is going up with the green line.
for a second, yeah.
Yeah. That's price action, right? Meaning that the
So if you
volume.
see that, that indicates that something good's going to happen, or
Yeah. Yeah, well, look at the chart.
well, in this particular case, it went up and went straight back down.
Yeah, that's what they do.
But I've, yeah, I know that. But occasionally, I've seen, well, not occasionally. Who are we kidding? Almost every time I've seen it go up, I'm thinking it's going to crash right back down, and I'll go ahead and do a short, and then it just keeps going up again. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, that's where you have to determine the volume, right? So everything pushes up, then it has to breathe, right? Now, how far it comes back down is based on the larger time frames. That's what the RSIs and the large time frames are, right? That's why you have to learn to trade inside of trading zones, right? So the more the RSIs and the larger time frames are driving down, that means that it's a larger amount of people going in that direction. That's the trend, right? So right now, the trend in those sections are down, right? So when you're trading, right, you're looking at those indicators and you're right that they're going up and you're probably making the right trades, except you're not making the trade based on how far it'll go. because you don't understand what zone you're in. That's kind of like the problem. So you have to trade inside of the right trading zones, right? So take a look at that right there, okay? You see where that green box is? So that's, look to your little bit of left. There's a little bitty green box that you made on the 1 hour. Yeah, that's the beginning of the pullback, okay? Now, the beautiful thing is that if you would have entered that pullback, right, and you stayed in that trade, you would have rode that all the way through, right, and kept going. And basically, as the 2 hour hit, right, and this is you kind of like guessing on what that the 2 hour is going to come around, right, and it does. Normally, when it's at the top, it's going to come through. And how we can tell this is based on the volume on the 3 minute. Okay, when the volume is negative on the 3 minute, that means that the price action or the amount of sales that are coming in are very low. So the odds.
When you say negative, do you mean the red facing this way?
Yes. Yes. When it's green, it's positive. When it's red, it's negative. Right. Okay. There's a line right there in the very middle. It's the 0 line.
Right here.
The black line. Go up. No. The middle of right there. Yes. When everything's below that, it's negative. It's just like looking at positive numbers and negative numbers.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was, but I wasn't so sure.
Yeah. So.
And I tried Google searching this stupid indicator name, and I found the indicator itself, obviously, on TradingView, but no explanation on how to read it. So.
No, and we change all the settings. So it's basically, that's why when we redesigned it and we put it back in, we have all our other stuff on there. So what you're looking at here is basically volume, right? Price action. So the rule of thumb is that if the volume is positive on the 3 minute, then more than likely you're in an area of a bounce, right? Or a possible move up, right? So that's kind of like
volume. Hold on. If volume is positive
on 3 minute,
on 3 minute,
it's not a short.
Oh, then it's not a short.
Right. Or
so
it's not
an indicator to say
more. Yeah, it's not like a top trade, right? It's not a trade, right?
So if volume is positive on the 3 minute, so where I would see volume positive is if it looks like this. Okay.
So what you would be looking for is when it starts to go positive, right? That's where you would be looking, depending on where you're at in your trading zone.
But it has to be inside my trading zone, right?
Yes. So the very first thing is you have to be inside your trading zones. Okay? So, and it also depends on how you're trading, right? So for instance, we trade based on, okay, so what high leverage trading is, it's designed to basically, it's made for bad entries, right? What's a bad entry? A bad entry is when the reverse happens, you wait, it finally, it confirms it's a reversal, you wait for the next confirmation, and you wait, and finally the last confirmation, and then you act on that next trade opportunities, right? Which means you probably missed 2 or 3 opportunities to get in at the highest point, which is where if you were using low leverage, right? So let's say that you're doing like a 10 or 20x, right? You're not too concerned about too much movement to the upside, but you need to be in very early because you need it to go 2% to give you on a 10x or a 10x leverage. You need it to move 2% to give you 20% gains, right? Because the goal is 20% gains.
And it never does that.
Yeah, you can do that. These trades do that too, right? But it's a longer process, right? And the odds of it, kind of running through are a little bit less, right? So kind of like think like this. Overall, traders who make 20% a month, right? That's like huge money, right? So when they do 20% a month, they're trading better than a hedge fund. A hedge fund gives you 6% a year, 7% a year. All right. So if you had, you're good. Martini night. So if you had, let's say if you had 50,000 and you went to your bank and you said, hey, I want to put this in trades, and they'll say, okay, we're going to get you 4% on this in 12 months.
4%? That's it?
Yeah, call your bank. And
Wow.
if you have a hedge fund, you need $100,000. They'll give you 5%. If you have the best hedge fund out there, they want $150,000, and they guarantee you 7% and offer a possible 10 to 12% return. So guys who trade on their own basically say, well, we're going to get 20% monthly. To them, that's, and to the market, that's a phenomenal return. If you can get 20% a month, that's, at the end of the day, you're working at 240% in a year, right? So
these guys are, multi-billionaires.
I mean, most of the guys are trading with about 100,000 to a quarter mil. So if you got 100,000, right, and you're making 240% on it, I mean, there's nothing wrong with $240,000 a year, right? So that's kind of like what that is, right? So what we do is we design the trades to where we can get our 20% rapidly, multiple times out of these short bursts without having to be at the mercy of market news, long movements. The longer that you're in a trade, the longer it could go the wrong way, right? So we
I've learned that.
Yeah, so we want quicker moves, quicker closes, in and out. We don't want to deal with, anything else. We want to take advantage of what's going to have to happen every single time regularly, right? Which is profits. People have to take profits. Okay, so at this point, you have these zones here. And inside of these zones, there are multiple trades that happen, right? Identifying those trades comes down to a very simple thing. You need a 3-minute red moon, a 3-minute red trend. Now, once you have that, the other entry part, or the third confirmation, is a 15-minute red moon or negative volume on the 3-minute. Okay? Now,
15-minute red trend, you said?
So here, write this down. Entries, 3-minute red moon, 3-minute red trend.
Right.
Confirmation of trade, negative volume on the 3-minute or 15-minute red moon.
15-minute red moon and negative and?
If you have both, even better. So put that in there. Negative volume with the 15. Yeah.
And or negative volume.
Yeah, negative volume or a 15-minute red moon can override the volume.
Okay. All right.
But you need your 3 confirmations. Okay? Now, when those confirmations hit, that's your trade. So what you have to do is that's the pattern that you're looking for inside of each of these trading zones. Okay? Now, the earlier trading zones, which is the pullback, has a shorter pull because we don't know how it's going to pull back. It could bounce earlier. It could dump the entire thing. Nobody knows. But that's why it's called the pullback, because we're getting in there and we literally are doing, let's say for the new guys, right? So let's just focus on you, because entries, when you first start out, need to be the key focus, right? So you would be doing where you would, instead of 100x leverage, right, you would be going down to a solid 50x leverage, okay? And what that does for you is that it allows your entry to have a little more bounce to it if you're wrong. So that way, if you're in a trade, gives you more.
I mean, at this point, I don't play with anything more than about 20x because I'm terrified.
Yeah, no, that's not. You have to, and that's where you kind of like you gotta stay in your little zone there. So you can pull in between, but you got anytime of these trades, these are designed to have certain like movements, right? So you have to have where you're running at least a 50x. Okay, and we're gonna go over that.
Right.
So now
we got the 3-minute.
hold on. No, don't worry about that. So now you're running a 50x. So your goal is, when you get into a trade, is you have a 25% stop loss. You have a 25% take profit. Those are the goals. Okay. Now, when the coin starts to move, there's a system for stop loss. Okay, and it's
the TPTL.
Yeah. So where we have it, where when it gets to 15% profit, you move your stop loss to 0. When you get to 20%, you move your stop loss to 10. When it gets to 27, you move your stop loss to 20. And then basically at that point, you stay behind it 20, meaning when it gets to 40, you're already set. When it gets to 50, your stop loss goes to 30, and so forth. And all you do is just keep moving your stop loss, and you have to keep moving your take profit, because normally when you start out, you start off at 25. So if it spikes, it closes for you automatically. If it's running, then you allow it to keep going, meaning when you get your profits to 17%, 20%, you move your take profit to 35 because you're watching the trade.
Okay. So that's like step 2. So
yeah, but that's kind of where you're at. But so just to to break it down
so
is
this is like right now. I normally let's say this was a zone. I'm putting it at like 0.001 at this point because I'm just tired of losing, right? So
yeah, no, you have to. Right. That you have to kind of like play it out the right way. Okay, you can't change anything in the system, and then you're not going to be able to fix it, right? So you have to stay in the inside. So for you, when you set your entry, once you get in, you're going to set a stop loss, right? And you can put your stop loss at, let's keep them tight, right? It's for you. So when you start off, so let's put a 15% stop loss every time. Let's put a take profit at 25 every time. Okay.
Take profit 25.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you start off, if it wicks the other way, 15% is your safety net, and then you can re-enter again, and that'll allow you to kind of like learn where you're making mistakes, right? Keeps you involved in your trade. So
should I immediately re-enter again, or should I go back to my trading view chart and try to figure out something else?
no, because you should be tracking the trade. So if you're doing what you're supposed to do, then the re-entry is coming, right? You don't know where a spike's going to come. The more the trading zones become, deeper and deeper, the less candles spike. Okay. So,
all right.
So on here, you have this pullback, right? That's that first green box, right? So that trade right there has an opportunity to do a pullback trade. Okay. Now, and go to your numbers to the right and then scroll up, wheel up a little bit. Yeah. So that's the pullback. You can finish that. You can put pullback if you want.
I'll just say C trade.
Well, no, that's not the C trade yet. That's the pullback.
I thought that was the C trade.
Well, that's your. Normally, if it's with the 2 hour, it's a C trade. So the C trade will be the 2 hour.
Oh. Okay.
This is the pullback.
That's called the pullback trade.
Yeah, just the 1 hour. If you want to put that note in there, you can.
1 hour
only
pullback.
Well, it only has the 1 hour support.
Okay.
That's just the pullback, right? Meaning that at any time, it's just pulling back from its push up, right? It can go long, it can go short. We have no idea how much that's going to be.
Now, the question in my head right now, though, is this is in the past. So how does this give me...
If you would have got alerted when the 1 hour crossed, that would have been in your future.
Okay.
So here's how to think of it, right? Because it's in your head, right? You're looking at things that happened because they happen all the time. So if you were driving down the street and you got
so you're saying history repeats itself in the trading world
all the time.
Okay.
These are systems that are forming in front of you.
And I do see some patterns occasionally. Like I'll be like, okay, here's 5 green ones, and then red.
There's patterns in there, man, but they're not that specific. That'd be great if we count 5 candles.
Right.
So
I've noticed that.
Yeah, but that's just time, right? That just happens to be a normal things that happen. Most things happen within 15 to 25 minutes, right? Those are the normal trading patterns. That's because your candles are moving based on this 5. So you have a 1, 2, 3, and then you go to 5, and then 5 you go to 15. Okay. So when you think about that, there's 5 3-minute candles. So when you have a 15-minute candle, right? There's 5 3 minutes in that candle. So normally candles are going to have those type of patterns because those are operating off the basic candle layout. 15, 30 minute, 45 minute, and 1 hour candles. So those patterns kind of normally just fill up every single time like that because that's just how they move. All right, so now what you're doing here is the entry that you're doing is the same thing, right? Your entry is 3 minute red moon, 3 minute red trend, 15 minute red moon, or negative volume on the 3 minute. No.
Right, so
Yeah, you can go there. Go the 15 minute. All right, so go to the 15 minute. Scroll right there's your box. Find your no, you're to your right. See where you can find the 15 minute red moon.
right there.
Right, which is exactly where that box begins, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to just say that you're probably going to see it. Now, remember, we're about to go back to the 3 minute. Okay? So when
But
we go,
here's the red trend right here.
that's on the 15 minute.
Oh, okay.
Every time you change the time frame, you're changing what you're looking at. We don't enter on a 15 minute trend. We enter on a
Right,
3
but
minute.
we already confirmed that it was a 3 minute red moon and a 3 minute red trend.
Right. But to enter the trade, you need 3 things, right? Or 4 to be totally in the right spot.
3 minute red moon, 3 minute red trend, 15 minute red moon, and or negative volume below zero.
Right. So 3 things. 2 things are always the same. Red moon, red trend. Third thing, negative volume or 15 minute red moon.
Well, the negative volume is not possible. It's all positive volume.
What time frame is that?
15.
Where do we enter?
But,
Where do
am
we
I checking
enter?
for negative volume on the 3 minute?
That's where you enter.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Sorry. Negative volume on 3 minute. Okay.
Correct.
So back to 3 minute again. I actually placed that on 2 separate lines because I thought, here's the stuff we do at 3 minute. Here's the stuff we do at 15 minute. Whoops. I didn't mean to do that.
Control Z.
Oh, Control Z works on here?
Yeah, it deletes the last. So what we're looking for is 3 minute red moon,
All
3
right.
minute red
and
trend.
then we already confirmed
Right.
that it was 15 minute.
Right. Now, the normal entry happens like this. Okay, on a pullback, it is a 3 minute red moon, red trend. Now you need negative volume or a red moon on the 15 minute. Do you have negative volume at that time?
Right here you do.
Yeah, but look how far that was already.
Yeah.
So where was the 15 minute red moon?
I have to go back and look.
Right. Go back to the 15 minute red moon. Put a
I
line.
guess I should have.
Put a
I
line
should've marked it.
from the top to the bottom of the red moon. So go grab the line. No. Go to the trend.
It's at.
No. Trend line. Yeah. That's the red moon. Go to your top left. Top left. Get the trend line. Left. It's a tool. Go to your tools. No. Not a box. Yeah. Click on that. Okay. Now go to the red moon down below. Down below. Yes. Now start at the top above it and then draw a line straight down through it.
Right here.
Yep. Draw it down. Straight down. There you go. Click it. Now I want you to do the line below that and you can see it on the RSI. So right there, click it and put another line down there. So now we know where the 15 minute moon is and we know where the RSI is. So notice that your 15 minute RSI is breaking down right there, correct?
Yes.
So we don't trade against the 15 minute RSI. So that was going up, this would not be a trade. But it's going down, which makes it a possible trade. So now.
Oh, so if the 15 minute was going up. Okay,
Right.
so this is another indicator we look at then. Let's see.
So that you can put on the thing basically, don't short if this. And you can put if the 15 minute RSI is bending up. Right. So what does that mean?
It means we can short it.
There you go.
Okay. So the RSI has to be going down too.
On the 15-minute.
So that's actually the fifth indicator then.
That's so basically on there. That's your checklist, right? Yeah, you can put it on there.
So 5 things, not 4 things. Okay. All right.
Yeah, no. So here's how it works, right? There are red moon, red trend. Now the third is either negative volume on the 3-minute, or the third thing can be a 15-minute red moon.
Right, but then only then it also has to be RSI down.
15. Don't trade against the 15-minute RSI. Correct. Make sure that's headed down.
That's why I put in my notes 15-minute red moon with RSI down. You might as well look at it both while you're looking at it the first time.
Yeah, and more than likely, if it's a 15-minute red moon, the RSI is going down. All right. So now,
Okay.
when you get that 15-minute red moon, go back to your 3-minute, and let's see where that 15-minute red moon came in. Okay, now look at the red. See there? So when you seen the red moon hit, right? And you're waiting for this trade. When the 1 hour hits, you slide to the 15-minute. You see there's a red moon, right? So 1 hour goes down. You go to the 15-minute, right? And you see the red moon, right? So this is
Right
kind of,
here.
here's your steps, right? So here, right? Pullback trade, right? Let's write that down.
I thought I had that. Hold on.
So we're going to go through the exact steps right now. So this is all you do every time you do it. It's the same steps over and over.
All right, good.
All right, so pullback trade. 1 hour crosses.
I'll put this in the notes in the chat for people. Maybe it'll help them.
Yeah, it's in every video. All right, so
I know it's in every video, but videos are like hours long, and then sometimes people lose track of stuff. I know because I've talked to some people, and
Yeah.
I was like, it'd be cool if we could get like an index of the different trades, and then here are the signals to look for. I said I could make SOPs.
okay, yeah. I mean, everybody. So like, yeah. Put it in there, and then everybody's that'll help people that aren't looking at the videos or like writing the notes.
I
So
mean, it's the least I can do for you helping me out and letting me in here for now. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to do it.
Well, you're also in a big community here too, so it's good that
I'm obviously losing
interact.
lots of money, so it's not.
Yeah. So
Um,
here's your steps, right? So here's your
pullback
steps.
trade.
Pullback trade. Okay. The pullback trade starts with the 1 hour cross. Okay.
1 hour cross. RSI.
Look for a 15-minute red moon.
Look for 15-minute red moon.
And a topped 15-minute RSI or RSI heading down.
RSI on 15-minute
Heading down.
Down.
If it's not,
What'd you say?
if there is no red moon on the 15-minute,
If no
red moon on the 15-minute,
red moon on 15-minute,
can use 3-minute negative volume.
3-minute negative volume. Okay.
Okay. Now, next step. Go to for entry. Go to 3-minute. Must have 3-minute red moon.
Hold on. Did you say move to entry or
Or
what did you say?
say to enter the trade. Go to 3-minute.
Only if 3-minute red moon.
Red trend.
You're breaking up real bad. 3-minute red moon and what?
Red trend.
Red trend.
Right.
Yep.
With a 15-minute red moon or negative volume on the 3-minute.
With 15-minute red trend.
No. 15-minute red moon,
Oh,
or
I'm sorry.
or negative volume on the 3 minute.
Okay. Okay.
So this is the same trade over and over. Okay? The only thing that changes are the steps that continue forward. Okay? So now a pullback trade doesn't always produce the numbers that we need. Okay? So if it doesn't have all those things in there, then you would move to the next pullback trade, right? Which is the C trade, right? A C trade starts when the 1 hour. So now what you're going to do here is go back to your C trade, right? So put in C trade.
Where?
So you can start another note. C trade. So a C trade.
1 hour?
No. Just on your notes. So
Oh.
yeah. So
Okay.
that trade's called the pullback. Okay.
C trade.
Now we're
Okay.
going to a C trade. That is when there is a 1 hour and a 2 hour headed crossing, right? 1 hour and 2 hour cross.
So the 1 hour we need to mark, and then we need to mark the 2 hour, and we need to see when they cross.
Yeah, when they both cross, that's a C trade. They can cross together. 2 hour could cross before the 1, but it's when they're both crossed and headed down.
Okay. All right.
That's a C trade. Okay?
Headed down. Okay.
Right. Now, so let's take a look at these two trades. They're right in front of you, okay? So this had a pullback trade, okay? Which is that green box. And
Right.
when we look in that green box, if you were looking at this trade and you got an alert that the 1 hour on Matic had crossed, you would have then gone to the 15-minute per your notes. You would have noticed that there's already a 15-minute red moon. That means that all you need to enter is what?
Since there's already. Wait, say that again. I'm sorry.
All right, so you get an alert. There's a 1 hour crossing indicating the start of a pullback.
The 2 hour crosses. Okay.
That's a C trade. This is the pullback. So let's focus on this trade. They're all the same steps. It just changes the amount. Okay. So
Okay. So
go to the pull.
alert.
Go to the pullback. What's the pullback trade? Read through it.
1 hour cross RSI.
Okay. Do you see that on Matic?
I see the 1 hour. I gotta go to 1 hour.
No. You already did. That's the white line.
Oh. All right. So the 1 hour RSI starts right there.
Right. What's the next step?
So 1 hour crosses. So look for 15-minute red moon. That was right here.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. Now, once you see that happen, right? So you see the 1 hour cross. Now you go to you see the 15-minute, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now that the 15-minute happened, right? What's the next thing for you to do? So what is that?
If no red moon on 15-minute, use 3-minute negative volume, but it did have 15-minute red moon.
Which means what?
Move to enter only if 3-minute red moon, which was back there somewhere, 3-minute red trend, which started right here, with confirmation of 15-minute red moon, which started right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would have been able to enter somewhere around here somewhere.
Where would you enter? Right.
Where?
But why are you entering? What would trigger the entry when you looked at that?
The confirmation was the 15-minute red moon.
Okay. And you're entering because
It's a pullback trade.
no, because you see a 3-minute red moon and red trend.
I thought I already looked. I already said that. I thought.
Yeah. So, but you have to like say it again, right? That's you. Oh, see, most people will get into this and then forget the entries on the 3-minute moon red trend. Right?
No, I always, even on the crappy, well, 90% of the trades I've done, I've always been on the 3-minute red moon stuff.
Okay.
And 3-minute red trend, even though all of them have lost money. So.
Okay. So now this is your pullback trade. Okay. So go to your left.
Yes.
Go to your tools. Right. You know where to see the profit margin.
That's why I labeled it right here.
Yeah. Go to your tools. Go to your left. Above the square. No. Your tools. Your tools are on the left side. Yeah. Above the square, the next one down. Right there. Click that. Look for long position. Well, you can do short position. Don't matter. But either way they go. So click short position. Click it. Now start where your entry would be. And it's not going to be at the top of that green line, right? It's going to be at the bottom of that candle that you would have entered right there. Yeah. Now, click it, and now that green part of that, you need to pull down to the bottom of that green line. Okay, right there. Okay, so what is the percentage on that? Go down. No, don't worry about that. No. You have a short position, right? Meaning that it's calculating from the top of the short to the bottom. I calculate with a long position, so I go from the bottom up. But it's the same thing. It's just upside down. All right, click on it right there, right? Click over it, hover over it. There's a percent under at the bottom.
That's why you're calculating with the long. You were confusing the crap out of me because I was like, we're doing a short. Why is he doing that?
Yeah. So go down, right there is your percentage, right under your mouse, at the bottom, right there. What's that say?
0.38?
Yeah. So right there, put a text. Put 0.38 in there.
So that would be less than 1%.
Yeah. So go. You can delete that. Get rid of that right there. Yeah, 0.38. Yeah, it's fine. So you can get rid of that short position. Get rid of that, and then go to text. So delete that. Click on that. Hit delete. Okay. Now you see that little blue thing? Right click on it. Your 3.8% thing. Right click.
Yeah.
All right. Go to settings to your right. See where it says top right? It's the blue T. Go to 14. Go to 14. Make that 32. Okay. Now, a lot of times what you want to do here is then change the color on the T. Change it to yellow.
Okay.
All right. So that's the first pullback part of that trade, okay? Now, let's move to the next part of the trade, right? Now, let's go to the right.
But wait a minute. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
All right, so that's all well and good. We mapped this out.
Mm-hmm.
How would I actually enter this trade right now?
What do you mean?
Well, this is the major disconnect for me. Like, I get looking at the past, but
Because it
How do I
happens.
actually-
It happens over and over.
okay, so how do I?
So here's what would happen, right? Okay. So when you have to understand that you're looking at how to play the indicators, and then they show you what they produce. All right. So how you would enter a trade like that, you would wait for the 1 hour to cross. You would then see if there's a 15-minute red moon. You would then enter if there was a 3-minute red moon and red trend. And that's the trade. That's the trade that most likely would happen right in front of you. A 0.38. Okay?
So I can't. So I wouldn't like figure out. Okay, this is 0.240. That's where I want to enter, and put that in Mexi. If it's way down here, but it's still repeating this.
No. You're so like when you enter, it'd be a lot different. Okay, so that's what that trade would have produced. Okay, right? We can't enter that trade. The trade already happened. Right? What we're looking at is the trade you missed. Right?
Okay,
So if you
thought I was crazy. All right. Okay.
Yeah. So now moving on, if you entered that trade and tried to make that trade, you have a 0.38. Right now, more than likely, it would have been a little bit more because you can see there it doesn't spike up or hit your stop loss, right? So take that little
Mm-hmm.
green box, right? Take the green box, and the right bottom corner, drag to that bottom last red thing, moon or candle before it goes green. A little bit down, right? A little bit higher, right there. A little bit higher. It'd be on that last red candle, right there. Okay, now I want you to take the top of the green box, and we're going to pull it down to the bottom of the first candle it's on. Pull it down, 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 right about a little bit further down, because we want to make sure that we don't not yeah right there, right there. Okay, now measure that area with the short. And that would be your correct number, which is what?
0.44.
Okay, so change that to 4.44. Now you right. So yeah, no. Hit Control Z. Yeah, right click on it. Go no, you can delete that. Yeah, right click on the. Now go to right click. Now go to there you go. All right, so that area right there, that trade is actually a 0.44, which means
Oh.
if you were running a 50x leverage, that would have been 22% gains. Okay?
Okay.
Which means you should have moved your stop loss. When it got to 15, you would have moved to 0. When it got to 20, you moved to 10. So that trade would have stopped out at 10%. Okay? Minimum. Right? Now, let's move on to the next one. So the next one is where we have what's called the C trade. This is when the 2 hour is joining the 1 hour. Okay?
Right. I wrote that.
Yeah.
And RSI headed down.
Yeah. So now what I want you to do, go to the right now, the numbers, we're going to make these candles taller so it makes it a lot easier to work with. Yeah. There you go. A little bit more. There you go. All right. So now here, drag where that yellow line goes down, pull up the price action on the moons. The chart. No. Yeah. Pull them up. There we go. Because what we're going to see here is this, right? We would be entering this trade on what? So when the 2 hour crosses, right? So let's say you're watching this trade happen, right? The 2 hour crosses, okay? What I want you to do is draw. All right, so in that area, go to your 15 minute. Go to your 15 minute real quick.
15.
Yeah. Now you see where that. There you go. And you don't need to be all the way, just scroll over, yeah, right there. So you see to your right where the yellow is. Bring the 15-minute moons down a little bit. Okay. And what we're looking for is right there. Just go to your moons. Go to your moons and pull it down a little bit. There you go. Just pull that down. Yeah. So you see there where the 15-minute moon, it's still going down. You see that? Now your 15-minute RSI, you see at the bottom? It's flat against the bottom. You see that? So it's not going up. Okay. Now, another thing to look at is that green line. So go up to that green line. Notice how it
should be right. I should be writing all these down.
No. We're gonna go this. We're gonna go over this every time. Okay. So the 15-minute is flat, right? Now go up and look at the green line where the yellow is. Go to your right. To your right.
So I look to see if the 15-minute is flat, and it is.
As long as it's not going up. Now look at your yellow line. See, go up to the green. Go to the moons. Go to the moons. To your right. To the right, where the yellow line is for the 2 hour, where it starts. To the 2 hour, to your left.
2 hour.
Yeah, the yellow line right there. Okay, you see the green line on the moons? Go down.
Yeah.
Notice how the green line on the moons, go down, is headed down. Okay?
Right here.
Yeah, okay. Now that we know that, that's just kind of like a thing that you can look at. Go back to your 3 minute.
I don't need to mark it or something?
No. Because we already checked and we can see it.
So that was a 15. So that was 15 minutes that we looked at to see if it was downtrend, right?
Right. That's what we were looking at.
But that was a green. That was a green line though, not a red line.
Yeah, we're looking at the green line because that's the price action there. And look at the red line. You see it? The buying and the selling are going down.
Okay.
So the price action is down. Right? If you
Alright.
look there, the red and the green are going down. All right, so now let's go to our 3 minute, right? Because that's where we have our entries, right? Now what you can do there is just take your mouse and scroll a little bit on that one on the numbers. Go to your numbers, scroll down a little, and that'll make, there you go. Not that far. Open up a little bit. We want the candle decent size. All right, so now what we're looking for here is the 2 hour starts to head down, right? The entry is the same thing. The entry is a 3 minute red moon, 3 minute red trend. Open those candles up a little more so we can see them. Make them taller and a little wider, right in that area, that the beginning of that yellow.
Right
Mm-hmm. There you go. Now make them taller. Go to the numbers. There you go. A little bit more. All right. So now, right here, do you see a 2 hour start to go down? You get an alert, right? There you go.
2 hour right here.
Yeah. You go to your 3 minute because this is a C trade. This is following a pullback. So now that you've already seen the first trade, you know that this is a C trade because it's the 2 hour. So the first thing you do is you go to the 3 minute. Okay? How do you enter any trade?
So 1 hour, 2 hour both have to cross RSI. Headed
No.
down
How do you enter any trade?
3 minute red moon.
Uh huh.
3 minute red trend.
Okay, box that out for me.
3 minute red moon. You said go like one step.
Go to the
past-
bottom of the candle of the moon. So go to the bottom of it.
Like here
Yeah, that's fine.
or right here.
No, you can do the next one. Do the next one.
Oh, I'll move it in a
Yeah,
second.
yeah, you're good. And go to the
Yeah.
bottom of those areas. Yeah, so that'd be about there, right there. That's fine. Bottom of that wick. All right. Now take that. Yeah, you can open it up so you can work a little better. Make it taller with the numbers. There you go. Now bring that green box down to the bottom of that wick.
Thought it was.
Right there. No. The bottom of the entry wick. There you go. Pull it down so we can see the entry wick. Yeah. So it's a little bit lower than that. I think there's a wick on there. Pull it down a little. So yeah, right there. So now that right there is when it first hits. Now how you enter a 3 minute candle, right? You know that the 3 minute candle comes every 3 minutes, right?
Right.
So at 10 o'clock and 10:03 there's a candle. At 10:06 there's a candle, right? And it goes all the way around in threes until it goes back to 11 o'clock. And then at
Sure.
11 there's a 3 minute at 11:03. When that candle hits, okay, no matter what time it is, right? So go over that and tell me what time is that candle with that wick that we're at the bottom of. So right there, yeah. That's a 2:18, right? When that candle hits and it prints, we would enter the trade, okay, 2 minutes after that candle. So to enter this trade, which would be the 21 candle, right? Because that's the 18, right? So to enter the 21 candle, we would enter at 20. You understand what I'm saying? 1 minute before the next candle is when you would go to an entry. Okay?
Hold on. I'm writing that down. I think I missed a few steps on the C trade, but I'll go over them here.
We're about to cover them. So,
I think a lot of people are going to find this very helpful. um, 15-minute red moon or 3 neg volume or 3 minute egg volume. All right. So every three. So what do you want me to write now?
Okay, when the 3 minute candle hits, you enter the next candle 1 minute before the next candle.
When this is for any trade, right?
Right, because we're entering the 3 minute. So notice how that 3 minute candle on the 18 hit, right? You see that big wick, right?
Yeah.
That's not how it started. It started at the bottom of the wick and it shrank.
I thought that it started up here and it went down.
No, when the candle prints, it prints its biggest number and then goes back. Right? So a lot of times when you see that, so to avoid entering at the tip of that candle and then getting pulled back up, you wait 2 minutes and you enter at the end of 2 minutes, 1 minute before the next 3 minute candle. So enter your trade 1 minute before the next 3 minute candle. So that candle with the long wick is listen to what I'm saying. That candle with the long wick is the 18-minute candle. The next candle is when?
3 minutes later.
Which would be?
2:21.
Okay. And you're going to enter 1 minute before it hits, right? So when would you enter?
1 minute before 2:21 hits?
Yeah. When would you enter?
Enter at 2:20.
There you go.
So how do I put that into words?
Just like that. On the 3 minute entry, enter 1 minute before the next 3 minute candle.
So 3 minute entry when, hold on. So 3 minute entry, say it again.
So you enter 1 minute before the next candle prints.
Enter 1 minute before the next candle prints.
Yes. Okay. So now that.
But let me hold on. I got to clarify that for my brain that will forget. So the green box that was made on the. So here's what I should say. Go to green box confirmation, because that was what we basically made, right? It was the confirmation of the trade.
Right.
And then look for bottom of first candle. Right?
No. Okay. So when you're entering this trade, right, you're not looking for the bottom of that first candle.
You're not.
When you get to here, there will be a 3 minute red candle, right? So here's how it works. When the 3 minute red moon hits, right, and you see a candle printing on the 3 minute red moon, right, and there's a 3 minute red trend, which means you're good to go on your entry, right?
Right.
Because you
with confirmation
of negative volume, which you have. Okay?
Right.
So when you see this 3 minute red moon, it has a candle attached to it, right? Because we're in the 3 minute time frame. When that 3 minute candle hit, it was 18. So if you decided to enter on the next candle, you would wait for 1 minute before the next candle. So if you
basically you wait 2 more minutes after you see the red moon.
Yeah, or let's say you got there and it was 3:19, right? And you know the next candle is 3:21. Then you would wait 1 minute. But you want
then look for bottom of first candle, which should be.
So basically, don't enter earlier than 1 minute left on the last candle, the next candle.
So wait. So wait 2 minutes
Right.
from when the candle printed, right?
So the yeah. So when you say it 1,000 different ways, it gets confusing, right? It's very simple. When you see the red moon and you're going to decide to enter a trade, right? I don't care where it is, right? The 3-minute candle had already hit. So whatever candle you're looking at, before the next candle that hits, do not enter until it's past the 2-minute mark. Right? So if you saw a candle and it was 23 or let's say 24, you would say, okay, I'm going to enter this trade. You wouldn't enter right then because the next candle is going to be at 27 and it's currently 24. So you wouldn't enter. When it went to 25, you wouldn't enter. When it got to 26, you would then enter because you allowed the first 2 minutes of the 3-minute candle to pass.
Okay.
So once you decide to enter, you're going to enter on the next candle, but do not enter on the next candle unless it has been longer than 2 minutes since the current candle. That's probably the best way to say it. If you're going to enter a trade on the 3-minute, do not enter a trade unless it's 2 minutes past the current candle.
Okay. Unless it's 2 minutes.
Past the current candle. The current 3-minute candle.
Current 3-minute current red moon candle.
And that's because what we're seeing here is right now you have that green box at the bottom of that candle. But the reality is during that candle, if it took the first minute and it got all the way down to the bottom of that tip, and the second minute, it started pulling back, right? So move your box to the middle of that wick. Right there. That is where you would be entering.
Right here.
Yeah. All right, so now go to your short tool and tell me what's the percentage of that trade.
From here to here?
Yeah, top to bottom.
Uh, 29.
Hold on.
Did I do that right?
Oh, give me 1 second. I'm swapping chairs. All right. Yes, you did that right. So what do we got at the bottom there?
29.
All right, so now you would put in there 0.29. So get rid of that little box there, 0.29. And now we have an idea of what that trade is.
Okay.
All right. So now we're going to move on to the next trade that we see. All right. Which is just sliding down to 3 minutes. So slide to your right. So after this trade happens, we are now waiting for the 4-hour to join the 1, the 2.
Is this one 4 hour?
The red line. Exactly. So staying on your 3-minute. Okay. So when the 4-hour.
Is this called the B trade?
Yes.
Okay.
So the B trade starts when the 4-hour crosses.
Okay.
All right, so now you see where that red line is on your chart?
Yes.
So when you look down and you see a red moon, do you see a red trend?
I see a red moon and I see the red trend up here.
Right. Okay, so now we're gonna take this box too. So now go make those candles a little taller. There you go. Now, box out that section where there would have been a trade.
was trying to write notes. Right now, I've just got his 4 hour across his RSI.
Yeah, yeah.
And then look for red moon and red trend on 3 minute, right?
Correct. So now the bottom of that candle, the same thing, that wick, we go.
Look for 3 minute. Anything about anything about
The,
RSI going down?
the entry is always the
about?
same. The entry is always the same. 3 minute moon, 3 minute red trend.
Okay.
So now box out the 3 minute moon and 3 minute red trend.
Box out the 3 minute. What about the 15 minute? Do I still have
No.
to check on that?
Nope, just box out. We're going to go back to that. So now box out the 3 minute moon, 3 minute red trend. It's going to be the bottom of that wick and then the bottom of the candle of the entry wick. It's going to be a little more to the right. It's going to be 2 candles to the right. You see the red trend?
Oh, but it's green though.
No. Those are candles. Put that back where it was. That's not the trend. All right, now open those candles a little taller. All right, now, do you see the trend? Grab the top of the box. There you go. There you go. Now drop the top of that box down. No, it's not. You're not going that far because you're going to the bottom of the wick before it turns up. So you already had that set up.
Because the red trend stops right there.
Right. But you're going to the lowest red candle right there. Okay. Now bring the top down. Right. To the bottom of the wick. Is that the bottom of that or the middle of that wick on the entry candle? The entry candle's there. Pull it down. Go to the middle of it right there. Okay. Now, widen that chart out. Right there. Yeah. No. Right where you're at. Just widen it a little bit. Take your mouse. Roll up. There you go. Now pull it to the right. All right. So let's measure that real quick.
Crap, where did it go? Oh, there it is. That doesn't look like much of anything, but. I can't get exact.
Yeah, what's it say? You got
Well, it's slightly off. You see
yeah, that's
where the
fine.
green.
What's the average? 0.08?
Yeah.
Okay, so put that in there. 0.08.
How is that a B trade? That sounds like a C trade to me. That's terrible.
Yeah, we don't know if it's a full B trade yet. All right, so mark it out.
0.08.
Okay. Now, go to your next red moon, red trend.
Red moon, red trend.
When's the next one? May take
right
your
here.
go to your numbers. Scroll down a little bit so you can see the top and bottom of the candles. What up, Compton Crypto? What up, baby? Yo, hit the likes on there, guys. We're going through a student day. Student day, guys. All right, so go ahead and mark that out. Where's the red trend, red moon? A little bit high. Yeah, go to the top of that, bottom of that last candle. Yep. That wick. Yeah, there you go. And move the top left to the entry candle. Yeah. But find the wick. Find the wick. All right. Going to be in the middle of that wick. Yes. Okay, measure that out.
Look here.
Yep.
Then measure that.
Yeah, go ahead and measure that out.
It's close to 35%.
Yeah. So 0.35.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Throw it in there. And now the next one. Yeah.
It'll be right here.
Now get your red trend. That'd be the next. It'd be keep going. One more candle. It'd be 2 candles to the right.
It would be because of the red trend.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
And then would I go all the way here, or would I
Whatever's the
stop
bottom.
right here?
Wherever the bottom of the mouse. Yeah, right there.
Not right here.
Nope. Because your stop loss will hit before that. So it's just the bottom of those. Alright.
Like right here.
Yeah, you can do that one right there. So right, a little bit lower, right there. Okay. Do a measuring on that. You're at perfect. That's fine.
Uh, 27%.
Okay. Mark that up for us. All right. Now, squeeze. Yeah, keep going. Keep going, keep going. Yeah. All right, now, red moon, red trend. Yeah, right there, perfect. You might have to open that up a little more. So there you go. Or take your numbers and squeeze. Yeah. So you'd still be going down on that one. So if it doesn't hit your entry point, then it's not going to hit your stop loss. So it's still going down there. So kind of right there and there. Scroll down. Yeah. Yeah, scroll.
Oh, here?
Yeah, no, where you're at, scroll your mouse. Scroll your mouse.
Even though there's
Scroll your mouse.
there?
Yeah, scroll your mouse. You want to pull them together. So scroll your mouse. There we go. Scroll it. Yeah, we're gonna do adjusting here. There you go. Now scroll the mouse together. The other way. Down. There you go. Scroll it down. You want to pull them together, not wider.
Like that?
A little bit more. And we want to be able to see the whole trade.
Well, I can see it, can't you?
No. All right. Slide.
Is that good?
Yes. Keep sliding to the right. With the box. Go ahead and move the box to the right.
Oh, keep going?
Yeah. That doesn't hit your stop loss. That trade keeps going.
How do you know it doesn't hit my stop loss?
Do you know where your stop loss is?
No.
Where normally is your stop loss?
10 to 15%.
Okay. But it's normally past your entry, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So here, do any of those candles go to your entry?
Well, my entry's here.
Right. Do any candles go up to there?
Oh, no, they don't.
Okay. Then pull it to the right. Let's keep going down. All right, now you have to pull the trade over a little bit so we can see what else is on the right. So with your mouse, roll the mouse down in that section. We need to make the candles come together. There you go. Now go to your numbers. Scroll your numbers down so that we can see the candles get smaller.
Like right here?
Yeah, so here's a section right here, right? Now, depending on how you play this, none of these candles here went up towards your entry. Okay?
Right.
So if you're in this trade, right, and you're moving your stop loss, and depending on where you're at there, right, it would be you would keep going on that side. So let's take a measuring. Go to your measure. Go to the entry point, and tell me where the top of that green is. So entry on the normal, and we're going to go to the top of that. Yeah, right there. So tell me from the entry to the top of that green. Where is that? No, go up. I want the top of that jump right there. Yeah, the tip of the green, where the green bounces back up. You got the entry's fine. The candles, where it reverses. That one right there. Right where your mouse is, the middle of that. Go down, right there, the green. Go down, right there. The top of that. What's the measure to that? Yes, yes. What's that measure to that? No, 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 no. Keep that there. You have to go to the bottom. You got to move the bottom up.
Oh,
Okay. What's that number?
0.40.
Okay. So basically, what that is if you were in this trade, right, at a 50x, that is set at the 20% mark. Okay. So take your, and your entry would be a little bit, let me see where your entry is. All right, we'll say that. We'll call it right about there. But move it all the way down to the bottom of the green box. So move the calculator down to the box. No, 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 no. Drag it down so we can see the percent. Put that back where it was. Yeah, there you go. Okay, what's that percent?
1.06.
Okay, so more than likely here, when you've seen this move come down, you got to 50%, right? So in this trade here, right, your goal is to get 50%, right? So if you're moving your stop loss, you're about 20 off, right? And what would happen here is that you would have your stop loss set at 30 because you got to 50. You see what I'm saying? Now,
So I could, in theory, ride this trade all the way down here, right?
correct. But we take the profits when they hit, right? So when this trade comes down and it has that big fall right there, right?
Yeah.
And it gets to 50%, 47%, that means you had your stop loss at 25% area. Okay? And if you get to 50, you're 20 behind, which means you probably would have moved up to around 30. Okay? So theoretically here, if you didn't catch that green trend change or whatever, you would have got stopped out at 30% profits, right? So a little bit higher. So you would have got stopped out a little bit higher, which is okay. All right, so you would have got stopped out of there about 30% profits, okay?
I
So,
don't see where you get 30 from, but
okay, so from the entry to the bottom, how much is that?
1.06.
Okay, if you're doing a 50x leverage, how much is that?
Right. I mean, 50.06.
Well, right. So 50%, right?
Right.
Okay, so if you have your take profit set at 50%, right, and you never move it, right? That would have hit your take profit at 50%, correct?
Yes.
Okay, now, if you're somebody who's moving your take profit and you see that you get to the 30% mark and then to the 40, and you decide to move your take profit to 100, right? And you keep your stop loss 20% behind, right? That trade hits 50%, right? Where would your stop loss be planted?
I mean,
Listen to what I'm saying. If you're moving your stop loss correctly, right, and you're trying to run the trade. Now, me personally, I set my take profits at 50%, and if it hits, I'm done, okay? But some guys like to run the trade. So if
stay
you're
in the trade.
right, if they're doing that, they start their profits off at 50%. When the trade starts to move in that direction, okay, and they're moving their stop loss, okay, as time goes on, they're staying 15 to 20% behind the current price. So if this trade is 15% or 20% behind the current price, and you're moving your stop loss accordingly, so your take profit is at 100, okay, your stop loss is 15 or 20. We'll just say 20 behind, right?
You can just keep updating it as you go.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. You're staying 20% behind. So if it's at 35%, right? Your stop loss, you immediately when you stay 15% behind, you need to get to 20 no matter what. So when you get to 30% profit, you move your stop loss up to 15 because you're 15 behind. You see what I'm saying? You're at 30. Your stop loss is 15. You then
20.
Yeah. But a lot of times, guys, like on that move, you want to kind of let that breathe because it could pull back to 20 and then fall for you, right? So when you get to 30, you're staying at 15. As soon as you cross 35, anything above 35, you then immediately move into position of 20%. Now you're locked in. That was the goal of the trade, right? Now you get to 40, you're 20 behind. You see what I'm saying? You get to 45, you move to 25% stop loss. You get to 50, you move to 30.
So in theory, because here we are getting out of the 2 hour, and then I'm sorry, is it the 2 hours the white or yellow?
The 2 hour, the 1 hour's white, the 2 hours yellow. We're not getting out of anything. They're all in the trading zone. But on this trade, if you're moving you're moving the way you're supposed to move, where would your stop loss be? It would either be if the trade got to 50 or 47. If you're doing a 20% behind, you're at 27% stop loss, maybe 30, right? Or maybe you want more profits, you go to 35. But either way, before that bounces, where would your stop loss be? 30 or 35, right?
I'm trying to understand. I really am.
Okay, you're watching the coin move percent. So while the trade is happening,
like where it says stop, isn't this the stop loss?
No. You put the stop loss. That calculates the stop loss, right? So if you took that red line, right, and you said I only want to lose 0.15, then you move that red line back, and then you can see where it's at. It tells you the stop loss. That's not your stop loss. Put your line back to where it entries. Go back up. Yeah, put that back up. Now from that point up is your stop loss that you can calculate for yourself. So let's say that you want to calculate a 1% stop loss, right? So you would move that to 1%. And then at the top of that line, you see where that mouse, that crossing line goes to the right? See that dotted line? See the dotted line? See how the dotted line goes to the right? Right there. See the price? No, keep it at the top. Go to your right. You see that price? The price of 0.5210. Go to the price of the coin. Yeah, all the way to the right, the price of the coin.
How am I not seeing that? Oh, okay, yeah.
So if you didn't know or had a system like MEXC that you could simply calculate by typing in the percent that you want as a stop loss, you would use this tool to tell you where it would be. So if you wanted a 0.17% stop loss, that means that you would type in your stop loss to be 0.5210.
But really, this is 17% if you're at 100x, and if you're at 50x. Okay.
Yeah, if you're at 50x, then you're working at 8.5%.
8.5%. Okay.
Yeah. So if you wanted an 8.5 stop loss, right, you would set that.
MEXC automatically tells you when you just type in 15%.
Yeah, exactly. But this tool was invented before MEXC.
Oh, okay.
Now, if you let's say that you have a 10% stop loss on MEXC, move that to 20. So put it 0.20 right there. No, go down. All right. So let's say your stop loss is 10%, right? If that was 100x, that would be 20, but you're using 50, so it would be 20%, right? So 0.2, right? That means that you would type in that price to the right of there. So you would type in 5211.
Well, I would have typed it in the past.
Yes.
But,
Yes, but you can also, for yourself, if you have that as your stop loss, you can use this tool to then draw a line, or you can just go to MEXC. It tells you the price that is your stop loss, and you can just put a line there so that you know if your stop loss gets hit.
Okay, but in theory, I could have stayed in this trade all the way down to like here or something.
Yeah, these trades, right.
Right?
But you have no idea how much it's going to bounce. So we're not in.
Right.
This isn't a trade that we're not in the long trade because we're not trading low leverage. We're trading 50x. We're not trading spot.
Oh, so it's good to get out soon. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
we're about to go over that. Okay, so this trade here, bring in 1%. Right, Diana, welcome in. Biggie, welcome in, guys. All right, so now that trade's over. Your stop loss hits or your take profit hits. Right, if you're smart, you put take profits at 50%. You hit your bag at 50%. You feel like a champion, right? Or put 47. Right, it hits 47. Bada boom, bada bing. Good job. Right, or you're moving your stop loss. You move it to 30. It hits. Either way, you made 30% on $1,000. That's the goal, right? So that's 300
Okay.
bucks on the trade. Now, that trade is over. It hits, right? You wait for the next entry. What would be the next entry?
I mean, right here. Red
No,
moon.
no, that's not the first. That's not the next red moon. What's the next red moon? Go to the
That's
end
not
of your
the-
trade. Back to your left. Back to your left. When did that trade end? End of the green
Right
box.
here.
Yeah, yeah. Where's the next move?
Oh,
No. Okay. Now put a box in there. You can
yeah, I
move.
messed up because I was looking at this thing and I thought I was still inside of a trade. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Um,
So now let's box these out real quick. Find the red trend. Go to your right. Yeah. Open those up slightly with the numbers, a little bit taller. The numbers. All right, so find the entering candle, middle of its wick, which would be you'd be waiting for the trend. So go to the trend. One past the trend. Yeah, go ahead, pull that down. It's fine. Right there. Yeah. Now pull that down to that wick on it, the wick.
of the wick.
Yeah, yeah. You want the worst. Yeah, yeah. The middle of that wick. There you go. Now slide across to the right. Okay, the entry is your stop loss, so slide all the way to the right. Right? Keep going. Now, keep going all the way across. All right, so now you see how those candles touch your. Keep going. Keep going. Now you see how those candles touched your wick or your entry. Go get your.
Right here.
Yeah,
Yep.
go to your short tool. Tell me what the from the entry to the bottom of that red candle, which would be in the middle of that middle of that box, right there, almost in the middle. The lowest red candle to your left a little, to your left, 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 in the middle of that box. Keep going. Keep right there. What's that percent right there?
To what? Top of the green?
Yep, top of the green down.
.33.
Move. See, now you're using the red. All right. So yeah. So either way on there. So the bottom there to the top. Bring that down a little bit more. Bring that red box down a little bit more. Bring the top down. Bring the top down. Go to the top. Go to the top. Go to the top of that. Yeah. Bring it down a little. There you go. What is that? Pull it up to that green line. Got to be a little more accurate right there. A little bit higher. That's fine. What is that? What is that right there? 0.27. Okay.
Yeah, 127.
Yeah, so on a 100, let's just call it 0.3 because you're a little bit off. But let's just say on a 100x, that's 27%, right? On a 50x, more than likely, that's probably about 12%, right? Yeah, so
Yeah.
we'll call it 12%, 13%. So you didn't quite break the 15% mark. So what would have happened on this trade once you entered, right? Your stop loss would have been set at 15. So go here and put a line or put a line where the stop loss would be. So put a trend line. So go to the top of that, measure out. You're doing a 25, so you would want that to be, let's just do a 0.1.
Do what?
So go to the top of the green box. Put the middle of those two colors in the top of the green box.
Middle
Yeah.
of the two colors.
Yeah. Go to the line in the middle. No. Go down. The middle of your yeah, there you go. You have to grab it. Grab the chart. Grab the chart. Grab the whole thing. Yeah, there you go. Now, the top of the red, bring that down to it says 0. point. So what would it be? We're doing a 50x, right? So 50x means that if we're doing a 15%, then that would have to go to 0.3. So pull that up to 0.3. Up, 0.3. Right, because on a 100x, right, that would be 30%, but we're doing 15. So 0.3 right there. Now go to your trend line and put a line right there. So just know, go to your trend line, left line, left line. Yeah, put a trend right on top of that red box.
On top of it?
Yep. Go to your right. Okay. That's your stop loss. Okay? That's a 0, you have it at 0.3, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Well, 3-1, close enough.
Yeah. On a 100x leverage, that would be 30%. On a 50x, right? That would be 15%. Okay? Did any of those candles hit your stop loss?
Yes.
No. Where's your stop loss? That's your entry.
Oh. No, they didn't.
Okay. So that means that green box would stay in the trade. So drag it down to the bottom of those red candles.
Like all the way down?
Yeah, that's probably what would happen, man.
That would be nice.
Yeah, well, that's what happened. That's the trade. Yeah, but bring the box down. Bring the green box down.
I know, I'm trying to move stuff around. For some reason, there's no little blue thing for me to drag right here, and there's not one over here either.
All right, so now go to the box to the left. Grab the box. The green box. Yeah, grab the corner, left corner of the green box. Go to left, bottom left corner. No. All right, hit Control Z. Okay, there you go. That's fine. Go to the bottom left of the box. Up top. No. Up. The box. Not your tool. Not the tool. The box. The green box that we drew earlier. Yeah.
Okay.
There. Bottom left corner. Drag it straight down. Okay. There you go. To that wick. There you go. Now, pull it a little bit to the right, right? If you can find a piece in there. You have to grab the corner. Yep, pull it to the right. There you go. So now, let's go ahead and basically, what's the percent in there? Look at the bottom of the green. Click on your tool. Go to your bottom, because it's going to be upside down. The percent will be at the bottom.
2.21.
Okay, put that in there. All right, so now this is a 2.21% trade. Okay, get rid of the tool. There you go. Now let's get rid of the tool. Okay, so now this is the evolution of a trade. Okay, it starts off with the pullback, which is a 0.44. Sometimes bigger, sometimes smaller. But that's a pullback. Now what we find is the pullback is normally averaged at 0.4 to 3%. Right? So it's always a nice initial move. Okay? The second trade is when the C trade happens, is when the 2 hour starts to come down. That's a 0.29. Now, if you're doing a 50x, if you're doing a 100x, it's 30. If you're doing a 50x, it gets to 15, and it doesn't really climax the way we want it. And then we move on to the next trades, which is basically where we see the 4 hour join the moves down. Okay, so now that we have these trades mapped out here, right, we can see where the best trades are. The best trades are at the 1.06, the 2.22, correct?
2.2, yeah.
Okay, so now, what is the difference in these trades, right? So the B trade starts on the red on the way down. Okay, put it to your left where the yeah. Okay, now go to the uh go to 15 minute
15.
and we're going to look at a thing called volume. Okay, so on the moon indicators where I had you move your threshold, remember, to the 4. Okay, that's the 4 line, right? So now on these particular trades, right? Let's take a look at the volume. So open up the candles on the numbers, make them taller, and then drag them down on the inside. Yeah. So grab them, pull them down, and then open them up. Yeah. There you go. All right. So now we can take a look at Brazo. We're looking at the 3 minute, and now we're moving to the 15 minute for volume, guys. All right, so this is he's learning how to chart out a trade here that he's going to learn to follow. All right, so now this is going to show us areas that we can get into. Now, what we're looking for is we have a base trade, right? The base trade is 3 minute red moon, 3 minute red trend is always an entry. The base trade that goes with that is the 1 hour crossing, the 2 hour crossing, the 4 hour crossing, correct?
That's the C trade.
No. Okay, listen to what I'm saying to you. There's trading zones. Okay? Trading zones start with the 1 hour crossing, the 2 hour crossing, and the 4 hour crossing. Okay? Those are the basis for trades inside those zones. Okay?
Right.
Now, just like we only enter on a red moon, red trend, right? On the 3 minute. So now, inside of these trading zones, okay, what we are looking for is the next confirmation of the best possible trade. So right here, what I want you to do is scroll down to the 15 minute, make it wide, because we're going to be looking at our volume. Make it wide down there. Okay, make it, scroll, there you go. Now go to the numbers to the right. And then you're going to go to the right of the numbers and then scroll it so it makes it wide. There you go. That's tall. So not vertical, but yeah, there we go. Now go to the numbers. Right there. And then scroll them up a little. And then go into the chart and scroll them so they go wide. Yeah. There you go. And then keep pulling them to the right. I have no idea how you got your numbers on that side, but we'll work on that later.
I have no idea how they happen either, to be honest with you.
How long? That just happened, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so hit Control Z. When did you know?
No, it didn't just happen now. It happened like a week ago.
No, I thought when we. Oh, okay. All right. All right, we'll look at that later. All right, so now, let's open that up there. Okay, so now what we're doing is, all right, that's fine. Now pull down the, make that a little bit smaller. Bring down the top chart a little bit, like that zone. So there's the inside that indicator, there's a top and a bottom of that section. So the two indicators take up 50% of the chart area. The main chart takes up 50 because it's giving the other two indicators, they're sharing half. So there's two lines on the top of each of the indicators. So move your mouse up and there'll be a double line that pops up and just drag it down. So slide to the top of the moon indicator, go up, right to, keep going, right there, pull it down. There you go. That's fine right there. Okay, so now let's slide the chart, grab it and pinch it and slide it to the right because we're going to start, we need to see the left side of the chart. Now slide it to the right, There you go. Keep going because we need to see the chart that we just did. Okay, now what I want you to take a look at here is go to the left side of the numbers of the moon volume. And now I want you to open up, use the mouse and roll up slightly because we need a little bit taller so you can see what I'm talking about. Roll up, scroll up. Keep going, a little bit more. Okay, a little bit more. There you go. Now, remember the threshold that we set at 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
All right, now pull that chart up. There you go. Okay, so the threshold is those dotted lines there. They're threshold on the 4 and positive and the 4 negative. Okay. Now, What I want you to do is up top, grab the top of that chart. I want you to pull that down a little so that we can see the 1.06. No, not that one. The chart, not the indicator. The indicator was fine. Yeah, the chart. Just go up to the top. Go up to the main chart. Just go to the middle of the chart. No. That's the numbers. Go to the middle of the chart. Pinch it and pull it down. We want to see the box that has the 1 point. There you go. Okay. Now. Okay, your screen flashes a lot for me, so hold on. All right, so now you see where the green box starts on that 1.6?
Yes.
Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to go down to the 15-minute volume moon indicator. I want you to draw a line, a trend line, down where that starts.
I mean,
where it's no. It goes up and down, vertical. Yeah. Draw it where it starts. Now you can click it right there and you can move it around with your click it. Now move it to the right or to the left. I'm sorry, to the left. There you go. Now turn it green. Like when you hover it, right click, go to there should be a color to top right, turn it green. Okay. Now, that basically, does that line up? Is that right? Okay.
that's pretty close. Yeah.
Okay. So right there, open that up so we can see that very particular area. So draw, yeah, there you go. Keep going. There you go. What do you see there? On that line. What is happening on that line?
On this line,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's going into a red moon.
Okay. So, what is happening to the volume at that moment?
I mean, it almost gone completely.
Well, it's going negative, right? So what I
Right.
want you to do is pull that, just pinch it and pull it down. Not the line, not that, but the whole chart, like the indicator. Pull it down so I can see the, yeah, but grab the indicator and pull it down. Not, yeah. Put that in the center so we can see it. There you go. Now pull it up, and what you can do is expand it. You just want in the center. So now what I want to show you is in the area, right? When we scroll here, right? So you see what we're looking at here is how to determine an area for another, basically showing you where the best part of the trade is going to happen, right? Now, if you move to your left, right, you can see here that the most important thing here is that the volume is negative, right? And notice how on here the 15-minute RSI is crossing, headed down right here. You see that? Okay, yeah. So the RSI is working out, and also below is the RSI, right? So you have that little section where the RSI is crossing, headed down. So that looks like a good trade. So as we move to the left, right, we're going to see the same similar type of trade. Move to your left. And now here, you see where we have the entry point right there. Yeah, so that's like, and there's another entry point because we have a 0.27 in that area there. I don't see the green box. It's probably really small in that area. But right there, you can, yeah, no, when you're on a bigger time frame, sometimes it's inside of a smaller area, okay? So right there, you're not going to see it. You're going to see like a little bit of line. But right there, we can see that when we made a decision to enter that trade, we have sort of the same scenario where we have some negative volume, which is good, and then it doesn't pan out as much as it should, but the 15-minute RSI is heading down, okay? So that's kind of like that should have been a decent trade there, right? So that looks okay. Moving on to the next trade, we have a 0.35. Right here, we have positive volume when we should have been getting into a trade, and then moving to the right, it crosses over and gives us some negative volume. So that's kind of like, you know, a trade that should have been a little better, but it doesn't turn out a lot. Going to the next trade, you can see that trade we wouldn't have made because the 15-minute RSI is actually headed up. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why when you were covering that A trade, you were like, that doesn't look like a B trade. Well, that's because your 15 minutes headed up. Okay?
Gotcha.
So now, what we're looking for is for the best entries on the next trades. So what I want to show you here is when you slide to your right, we have some trades here that were headed down. Like, go, no, 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 no. Just move from one trade to another. Go back, go back, back. So when you're at the 8% trade, okay, as you move to your right, you wouldn't have got in that trade because at that time, you basically had a uptrending 15 minutes. So you would have waited. Then when the 15-minute crossed is where you would be looking for your next trade, which was your 0.35. Now, if you're doing 100x on this particular area, you make 35%. If you're not doing 100x on that area, you make about 16%, right? Move to the next one, 27% or 13%, right? So in those two trades right there, you should at least move your indicator or your stop loss to 0. So those two trades you would have took a loss on if you were making those trades. And as you move forward, the difference between the trades that you're making here is that on this next move here, it actually pans out because the volume goes negative, but it finally runs. Okay, so that's kind of where the difference of when things become the short that we want, right? So now pull those together, those candles there, and what we're going to do is we're going to slide over to the 30-minute.
30-minute?
Yeah. Oh, hold on. You know what? Before you leave there, I'm going to show you the difference. So slide to your left a little, and let's look at the trade that we had set up earlier right there, the 0.44, right? We didn't need negative volume on the 15-minute here because this is a pullback entry. The only thing we needed to know is that it started to go down, which would be what? The 15-minute red moon, okay?
Right.
Once that trade's over, none of that plays into the next move. The next trade after a pullback is a C trade, which we don't make, right? We normally don't make that trade because it's a C trade, but they do pay off. Now, how to get in there would have been the same way you got in there. The volume headed down, the 15-minute at the bottom, 3-minute entry, all that would have worked out for 0.39, 29% on 100x, 15% on a 50%. So we're not really making that trade because it's a C trade. But when we move to the B trade, right, and we have the 15-minute coming up, we would have more than likely at this point until we move to the next indicator would be that we would probably make those two 0.35s and 0.27 trades, okay? And we definitely would be moving into the 1% trade that we made. So now let's go to the 30-minute, and I'm going to show you like how we're using the indicators to basically claim, right? So the first trade that you do is basically based off of a 15-minute red moon and the indicators on a pullback trade, right? So once that first trade happens, and then you slide into a situation where what you're looking for is basically after that is the next trade to happen, which would be the 15-minute red moon already hit, and now you're looking for trends to kind of give you the move that you want to make here. So when you look at the 30-minute here, right, notice how you had a 30-minute red moon, but the 30-minute red moon had already hit with the 15-minute, right? Do you see that?
30-minute red moon right here.
Yeah, so it's already, that was part of that first trade we make, right? So that means that we can't use that for the next trade that we're going to enter, right? So that means we have to move to the next possible situation, which would be what? From the 30. So since the 30-minute is already out of the way, what's the next thing that we do? Now, no, keep going to your right, So there's your 30. It's out of the way. Move to your right. All right, and I want to show you like why we're looking at volume. Pull that up. So notice here. See the 30-minute volume? Pull that volume up. Yeah, that's fine. You're fine. Pull it up, but just move the chart. There you go. Do you see where the 30-minute finally goes negative?
Way down here.
Yeah. Okay. So once you do a pullback trade, okay, and the moons 15 and 30 already hit, right? The next trade that you're looking for is the trade of negative volume, right? So when the 30-minute gives you negative volume, right? So, yeah, 30-minute. You're in the 30-minute. Where do you see negative volume?
Right here.
Okay, exactly. So that's where you would be making your next trade. And notice on the RSI, pull the RSI up. Okay, see where it starts to head down? Right, it's heading down. Negative volume lets you know that that's the trade you're getting into. Okay, so first trade that we get into is a pullback, right? 15-minute red moon, negative volume on our 3-minute. Boom. Once we're out of that trade, the next trade that we're entering is a 30-minute negative volume. Okay? Now,
I thought that was called a C trade.
what's a C trade?
I so you just talked about pullback trade,
Mm-hmm.
and talked about right here,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you talked about the C trade. Well, the C trade's next, but now you're saying it's a 30-minute.
Yeah, we don't do the C trade.
What do you mean you don't do the C trade?
Yeah, that's so C trades are basically for scalpers, right? They're guys that are running 100x leverage. Right? You're running 50x.
We don't even do the C trades?
No, those are if you're scalping at 100x. So yes, if you're in the academy and you're doing a 100x leverage, you can do a C trade. But you're taking profits at 20%.
Right.
Right? And what you need to learn first before you scalp a C trade, right? You need to get into where you're moving correctly, right? So in this trade, you have a pullback trade, right? Which we did. The trade that comes after that is where you see a C trade opportunity, right? Now, C trades are coin flips, okay? So when you're running a C trade at a coin flip, it's basically your entry would be set up at 100x leverage. Your stop loss would be set up at a solid 15. Your take profit would be set up at 20. And it's a quick move in or out. It's a coin flip, right? That's a C trade, right? So now, but that's not a trade that you should be in. Right?
Okay.
That's for scalpers, right? So the trade that you're in, right, is you're going to focus on B trades and above, right? But the B trades that you're in have very specific rules to them. So after the pullback is done, your next trade happens when the 30-minute volume is negative and the 30-minute RSI is headed down. All right, so put that in your notes. After a pullback trade, the next trade is 30-minute volume, negative, 30-minute RSI headed down.
And then the 4-hour crosses the RSI.
Yeah, that already happened. You're in that zone. You're in that trading zone.
Okay.
So at that time, you already know if you're shorting, right? You don't trade against the 15, right? And you don't trade against the big time frame of the 1 hour. Right? So if the 1 hour is heading up right here, you don't make the trade. It has to be going flat. If the 1 hour is flat, you can make the trade. If it's heading up, you don't make the trade.
Wait. Now you're adding one more thing. So if the 1 hour, if 1 hour,
you don't trade against the trend of the 15-minute and the 1 hour.
You didn't even mention 15-minute. Now you're saying 15-minute also. Okay, so
the 15-minute was in the very beginning.
Yeah, here's what I have on my notes. So I'm trying to keep this
Yeah.
like understandable for everybody else. I know I'm not the only one that's confused. 4 hour crosses the RSI on a B trade. Look for 3 minute red moon and 3 minute red trend. Now you said 30-minute RSI headed down and 30-minute negative volume, right? And if 1 hour is, and then I was attempting to write, if 1 hour RSI
Or 15-minute.
What?
Or the 15-minute is headed up.
RSI or 15-minute is headed up, don't trade.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Alright. I'm gonna make this in like Microsoft Word and send this to you because I have a feeling you're probably gonna want to edit some stuff, but anyway. Alright. So that's B trade. Okay. So let's see here. I took a ton of notes for the C trade, but now you're saying don't even use it unless you're doing 100x.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're in very specific trades. All right. So now I want you to go to your 1 hour.
1 hour.
Now locate your 1 hour red moon in there.
In the 106 or 221?
No, kind of like, it's the beginning. See where it comes in, right? So this is kind of like letting you know that that's the beginning of the pull. See the red moon right there?
Well, that's why we put the C box there.
Yeah. No. You put the C box there because that's where the 2 hour started crossing.
Oh.
So
Okay.
we haven't even got the moons. All right. So now the 1 hour red moon is already hit for you, right? Sometimes it hits early, sometimes it hits late, but that's the next thing that you'd be looking for to validate your trade that you want to do. So notice here on the 1% trade, right? What do you notice about the volume on the 1 hour?
I mean, it goes negative.
It goes negative, right? So at that point, right, when that trade goes negative right there, right, you see the 1 hour RSI all the way at the bottom, right?
Right.
Okay. So this is why this trade is the trade that you want to extend on, right? Because after the 30-minute volume goes negative, the next volume that you need to go negative for the next trade, which would be the 1 hour, right? So that means after you make that 1% trade and you close, the next trade that you would do is negative 1 hour volume. So after you close that trade, you would have noticed that the 1 hour is actually already negative, right? What that means is what that means is now you can go back to your 3-minute entry and simply enter correctly because everything is already in there. So all that happened on that 1% trade is that 1% trade, it hit your stop loss, and then everything else said that the next trade had already confirmed because the 1 hour is headed down, right? Which basically means you can go right back to your 3-minute and just look for your next entry point, which is 3-minute red moon, 3-minute red trend. And that's how you get to that 2.21%.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay? So the trades that you're looking for are the pullback trade, the B trade with your 30-minute negative value, and then your other B trade, which is, kind of slides into an A trade, is when you get to where volume is negative on the 1 hour. That's the A trade. That's the 2.21. Now, a lot of times we consider an A trade to actually be as soon as the volume breaks below the 4 line. Right? So you see on the 1 hour where the volume became yellow?
Yes.
Okay. To your left, to your left. So right there, that is letting it right there. That is letting us know that we are heading into an A trade. Normally right there, we consider that an A trade the moment it breaks down, right? So you see how the green line was going flat? Uh-huh. And then it broke down finally? Okay. Go to the red line. Up above. Above, right where you were. Yeah, yeah. You see where it breaks down?
Yeah.
That's the A trade.
So this is actually an A trade then.
That's the beginning of the A trade. So, in that scenario, most of the times it doesn't have a bounce that takes you out and then you re-enter to get that next trade. Most of the time it just falls 3%.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So all the trades are going to be a little different for you, but that's the trade you're going to enter, right? So here's your steps again. So make sure you understand. You're doing a pullback trade.
I'm trying to write them down here.
All right. Let's go over the notes. They should already be written down.
What? Yep. So 1 hour cross RSI on the pullback trade. Look for the 1 hour to cross the RSI. Then look for the 15-minute red moon. RSI on the 15-minute should be headed down. If no red moon on the 15-minute, use the 3-minute negative volume. Move to enter only if 3-minute red moon and 3-minute red trend with confirmation of 15-minute red moon or 3-minute negative volume.
Correct.
That's the pullback trade.
Yes. And you are setting
All
your
right.
profits. Stop loss is set at 15. Profits is set at 25.
Stop loss 15.
Profits
20.
correct. After that trade is done, the next trade you're going to enter, right, is when the you have another trade that comes into play, right?
I put C trade because we've spent, about 30 minutes going through it. I mean, do you want me to read the notes on that?
So you can go ahead and on that you can just put C trade is a 100x leverage trade.
I did.
Wait till you get better.
And I said 1 hour and 2 hour both cross RSI.
But what I want you to do is watch those trades happen and then mark them and see how they played out so that you can start to see how the trade happens in real time and then mark what you would have made. Okay? And then write it down, right? So write down the C trade and be like, oh, Matic C trade did 0.25, 0.75, right? Write them down until you have 10 of them. And then go back and look at all 10 of them based on how you would enter. So, right, when you get to a point and you say, okay, this is where I would enter, mark your entry with a line on the 3-minute. Then go back. Let the trade play out. Mark where the trade bounced on it, the lowest part of the trade. Measure it. Okay? Write down what the percentage was. And then you could say to yourself, okay, yeah, if I would have entered that, I would have made X amount percent. Perfect. Do 10 of them. Go back. Look at the 10 trades. See how they would have panned out for you. Right? If you're not winning, right, and winning means making 20% on it, right, or 25% wins on it, right, then, you need to win 7 out of 10 of those trades. If you don't win 7 out of 10, right, then you realize that, okay, that C trade is not for me unless I use a 100x leverage, right? So you kind of write down, you can see what you would have won, right? So if you average 0.2529, right, on 100x, that's 25%, meaning if you would have gone for 20%, you would have won those trades, right?
Gotcha.
Get it? So, but what you want to see is, can you pick out those C trades over and over and over, and what's your average percent on 10 trades? Right? And then once you get it, do another 10. And then equal them out and say, okay, how did I do? That will tell you how good you are at C trades, right? Now, when you get to your B trade, which is what we want to focus on, is where we have
4 hour crosses RSI.
four.
Look for
Yeah.
3.
So you have the 4 hour cross.
look for 3-minute red moon and 3-minute red trend, 30-minute RSI headed down, and 30-minute negative volume.
There you go.
If 1 hour RSI or 15-minute is headed up, do not trade.
Right. You need to put that in the right direction, right? Which would be this: 4-hour crosses, 30-minute negative volume, entry, 3-minute red moon, red trend.
Well, you didn't say 3-minute negative volume.
No, I didn't say that. Well, I said you need to put in the right order, right? Which goes this: 4-minute crossing, 30-minute negative volume, entry on 3-minute red moon, red trend.
3-minute negative volume.
No. I didn't say 3-minute negative volume.
He said 30-minute?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
well,
the steps.
audio is breaking up.
Yeah, the steps go like this, right? So here's the steps. The steps are 4-hour cross, 30-minute negative volume, 3-minute entry, red moon, red trend.
That's basically what I had. I mean,
Yeah, but you have it in different orders. So you have 4-minute cross.
Because you said it in different order. That's why I wrote it down that way.
Yeah, that's why I'm fixing it for you right now.
The 30-minute RSI headed down, when does that get looked at?
When you're looking at the negative volume.
Okay. All right. That's why I'm going to send this to you in a Google Doc so you can edit it, because I think there's probably a few pieces that would be moved around. All right.
So just think of it like steps that you're going to see, right? First step is the crossing. Next, you need negative volume. Once you see negative volume, you should see the RSI either headed down or on the floor going sideways, right? Once you see that happen, you slide over and you can take
Hold on. You didn't say to look for that. So, RSI should be
headed.
RSI down then.
Yeah, we went over that. 30-minute RSI going down.
Well, okay. All right.
Yeah, that's what you just said. 30-minute RSI going down. Now, when you look at that.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm trying to figure out where it's like where you get confused. So what did you think?
You're just saying it different ways, and so I think we're on the same page. 4-hour crosses RSI, 30-minute RSI down, 30-minute negative volume.
No. So look. That's where it's very important to get the steps right. Okay, 4-hour crosses, 30-minute negative volume. Then you look at the RSI headed down, right? Once you have that all in there, right? You then move, right? You can check this once you see the 30-minute headed negative volume and headed down, then you can do the safety check, which is 15-minute headed down, right? Because now you're good to go. You're ready to enter, but now you're just making sure that the 15-minute is headed down, and then you check the 1 hour headed down, right? You see how that works? So the trade works like this. Here's the trade. Ready? 4-hour crossing, 30-minute negative volume. That triggers a trade, right? The steps to enter the trade are to do the safety check, which is 30-minute RSIs, right? The RSIs are the check. Check the RSI. 30 headed down, 1 hour headed down, 15 headed down. That's the best trade you can get into. Now, once all that clears, then you go to your 3-minute red moon, red trend.
All right. That's a lot better to understand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like that's how it goes. You don't need to know if the 15 is going down or the 1 hour is going down if the 30-minute doesn't have negative volume. So the negative volume triggers you to go into checklist, right? So the trade is 4-hour crossing, 30-minute negative volume, right? The checklist is RSIs, 30, 1 hour, 15, headed down. Entry, 3-minute, red moon, red trend.
Entry. All right.
Now,
Okay.
next trade, simply follows the same format. We already know the 4 hour crossed, right? Now what we're looking for is what? 1 hour negative volume. Once that triggers, right, you then say, oh, negative volume, 30-minute, right? 1 hour. Now you go to checklist. 1 hour headed down, 30-minute headed down, 15-minute headed down, 3-minute moon, 3-minute trend.
So it repeats itself over and over again.
Yeah, it's those steps.
Except for the 30-minute negative volume.
Right, that moves to the 1 hour because it's gradually growing.
Okay. I think you lost me a little bit on that last little one that you just added here. So what trade is this called? A trade?
Yeah, this is just a continuation of the A trade. This is the second leg.
Or B trade rather.
No,
Sorry,
we're
didn't talk about A trade yet.
no. We're in the A trades. The A trades is when the volume gets below the 4 line on the 1 hour and starts to head down, meaning the red line breaks down. That's what we just went over before we started talking about the injuries.
I thought that was called a B trade.
B trade is when the 4 hour crosses down.
Okay, and an A trade is what?
When the volume gets below your 4 line threshold and the red line breaks down. That's what we just covered. Like when I took you to the 1 hour, right? Go to the 1 hour, go to the volume, go to the last where it's yellow. Go down. Yeah, you're already there. Go to the volume. Slide to the right. We just covered that. Right there. Right? Do you see where the red line breaks down?
Yeah.
Go up. Where that green line is. See that green line we already wrote? Yeah, we're right there, right there.
Right.
Yeah, go up. You see how the red line? No. Right above it. Right above it. There's a red line in volume. No. Volume. Go down. Right there. Go to the red line above that green. Yes. You see how it breaks down?
Mm-hmm.
A trade.
Okay. Yeah, I see the A. Sorry. All right.
Now you're in an A trade the entire time until the volume changes.
All right. So here's the volume change right here.
Is that volume positive?
No, but
Okay.
it goes to
Yeah,
negative.
but that doesn't matter. That's still an A trade section because the volume didn't break above the 4. So that's short right there, and that you're looking at right above that, where the 1 hour red moon hits again. Yeah, that's an A trade right there.
But I don't see the volume breaking above the 4.
That's because it's already
Oh.
in an A trade.
Oh, it's already below.
Yeah.
So it'd be this one, but we can't go off the 1 hour. We got to look at.
Yeah, you're going off. Okay, back up. Let's go to slide to the left a little bit. Okay, so the 2.21 and the 1.6 are A trades because the 1 hour volume is below the 4 line and the red is broken south, right? So those two trades are A trades. Okay, now we make those trades until the 1 hour starts to head up. Where does the 1 hour start to head up?
Which is right here.
No. Go to the white box. Go to your left. No, your left. The very first white box. Right there. Yes. See how the 1 hour is headed up? Look at your RSI.
Here.
Yes. Okay. See how it's headed up? Now, look at bring your volume indicator up a little bit so we can see the green and red line.
What do you want to see?
Okay, I'm going to show you how to read your price indicators right there, your price action. So notice how the RSI, look at where the 1 hour starts to go up on the RSI. Go down to your RSI. Go down to your
1
RSI.
hour's white.
Yeah, right there.
RSI is right here.
Right. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. The RSI is telling you that there's a change in this is called a strength index. The strength of the buyers and the sellers are raising here. You see that? Now, how much it's going to raise is based on the green volume and red line above that, because that's the actual money. It doesn't matter if 1,000 people are buying this and it shows the strength is in the buying direction if they're buying $1 each, right? It only changes if they spend more money. So that is where you see the green line and the red line. You see how they're going sideways? You see the green line finally break up right there? That means somebody actually spent some money. Then you see how the RSI makes a harder move to the top? Because now there's actual price in there. There's money. Now, when the 1 hour crosses back over, right? Because keep in mind at this moment, we have a 4 hour crossing. See that red box? That's the 4 hour going down, right? So now the volume is below the 4 line, so we're still in an A trade, which means when the 4 hour where the 1 hour crosses back over, because it's inside of the 4 hour, right? Because the 4 hour hasn't changed directions yet, meaning that the 4 hour trend is still negative. Get it? So when that 1 hour bounces and goes all the way to the top and then crosses again, right? Starting the next trade, right? You see that next white box?
Right.
Okay. That's the start of another A trade. Why? Because right now the 1 hour is headed down and the volume is below the negative. Okay?
So on an A trade, volume below 4 line, and then I'm looking for the 4 hour. What are the steps in the checklist?
So trading zones, okay? Your trading zones are simple. They start with the pullback, which is the beginning of a trading zone, which is the 1 hour crossing south.
Right, I got that.
The 2 hour crosses, right? Your trading zone that you want to catch your trades in are the 4 hour cross. Okay?
Which is the B trade.
The beginning of the B trades. Right?
And apparently the A trade as well.
Right. Once the volume breaks down below the 4 and heads south. Okay? So, see that big red box there? That red box is the 4 hour headed down. That's the trend.
Right.
That means that trend is a bearish trend. So until that 4 hour goes the other direction, right? That is considered a bearish trend, right? So inside that red, that's your red trading zone. That's where you're shorting, okay? So inside the 4 hour coming down, you are locating trades inside of that 4 hour. And you want to locate B's in the beginning and the A trades until it reverses. Okay? So the A trades are the trades that you want to do, which means the volume is below the negative. So here there was a bounce. The 1 hour finally broke up, right? It starts to move up. Now, by the time it gets to the top and it recrosses down, right? During that time that it was going up, did the 4 hour join it? No, correct? Because the 4 hour is still going down, right?
Right.
So that means you're still in shorts. Okay? So when that starts, when the 1 hour gets to the top, and you see it start to cross again. See where it crossed?
Yes.
Okay. That is the beginning of your next set of A trades. How many? Who knows? Right? But it's at least one. So now, move your white box a little bit to the left. Go to your white box. Go to your left. Go to your left. Go to your left. You already have it there. You already have a white box. Go to the, yeah, there you go. Move that corner. Go to your left corner. You're going to move it a little bit to the, yeah. One over. Right there's the cross. That's the crossing right there. So now that you have negative value on your one, everything else, right? It's an A trade. So once the 1 hour crosses, you now simply go to an entry, right? Which is what? The 1 hour is headed down. Go to your 30 minute.
1 hour crosses down.
It has negative volume. It's ready for a trade. Now you need to do a checklist. What's your checklist? 1 hour, 30, 15 minute RSI. Check them real quick.
So 1 hour crosses down. 30 minute.
That's okay. It's important that you understand how this works. When the 1 hour crosses back down, the 4 hour is already headed down. This is a continuation of more A trades. So once the 1 hour crosses back down, that initiates another A trade. So once the A trade is initiated, now you go into the checklist. Checklist is 1 hour headed down, go to your 30 minute. 1 hour,
Yeah.
30 minute, 15 headed down.
Hold on. Check. The checklist is 1 hour headed down.
30 and 15.
30 headed down.
Mm-hmm.
15 headed down. And then we go to
So go to your 30. Let's do the checklist.
30. Sorry, I'm trying to write this down too.
That's a video. You can watch it at the end. So boom. Is your 30 headed down on that white box?
Right here? Yep.
The white box. Go to your white box. Yeah. So below that, straight down. Yeah. 30 headed down. Go to your 15. Is your 15 headed down? Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Go to your 3 minute red moon, red trend. There's your entry.
Right there.
There should be, slide to your right. Okay. Locate the red trend. Go to your white box to your left. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Pull that down. So at the moment of that, you're going to be somewhere around that white line, right? So pull the thing down. So let's just, normally you might be a little further before that where it had a red moon and a red trend, but let's just go to the next one. So let's just move to that. After that white line, you have a red moon, red trend, right?
Here's a red moon over here.
Yeah. Go ahead and box that out with a green box and measure it.
Green box for this red moon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you have red moon, right? And what do we need? We need a red moon, red trend, negative volume. Do you have that on the 3 minute?
Red moon, red trend, negative volume.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What's that? Mark that. Pull that all the way down to the bottom of that last candle. Is that it right there? Okay, measure that out.
Measure that out. Okay. 2.25.
Go ahead and put that in there. And that's what that trade is worth.
If you had gotten in time.
Mm-hmm. You have plenty of time.
Right.
Yeah. All right, there you go. Now back out to the 1 hour again. So if you're doing 100x on that trade, you made 225%. If you're doing a 50x like you're supposed to be doing, then you just made 100%. Okay? So slide to your right.
Am I messing up? Where's my stuff at?
Keep going to the right. There you go. Now open that up by the 225. So that trade right there would have gave you 225 or 125% profit. Remember, we're only going for 20, so we're way above. All right, so now the 1 hour is heading your direction, right? Once you get in that trade, it finishes. The next possible trade, right, is when the 2 hour crosses, right? You see that right there?
Right here.
No, the yellow. So as long as the 4 hour is still going down, the 2 hour crosses, right? Go take a look at it. So right there, the yellow line, that's your 2 hour.
Right.
Yeah, but the beginning of
It's
it,
barely gone.
that's the 1 hour. Okay? You already drew the box. You already made it. If you want, go to the 2 hour and double check it.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, you already drew it. It's already there. Right. So right there, you can see here that you already drew the yellow box for the 2 hours. So 1 hour is white, 2 hours yellow, red is 4.
Right.
4 hour. Okay. So here we can see already that you have a 2 hour crossing happening. Right? And let's your thing flashes a lot there. Okay. So we're just going to say that that area right there where the 2 hour crosses, that's the next trade. So now let's line it up correctly. It looks pretty good to me. Just go to your, at that time when that 2 hour crosses, right, triggering a trade, right, negative volume, right, needing to be on the 1 hour. So now that the 2 hour crossed, you would go to your 1 hour to initiate, to find a trade. So 2 hour crosses, go to your 1 hour.
So we were 1 hour crosses down, 4 hour already headed down.
Mm-hmm.
Checklist is 1 hour headed down, 30-minute headed down, 15-minute headed down.
Yeah, so run your checklist.
Okay, so volume below 4 line.
You're on the 2 hour. You got to move your time frames.
Oh.
Okay, so when the yellow line crosses over, is your 1 hour headed down?
Is my 1 hour headed down when the yellow line crosses over? The answer is yes.
Okay, 30-minute. And you have negative volume on the 1 hour, correct?
Yes.
Okay, boom. 30-minute.
30-minute.
Okay, look at your 30-minute, right? Now what we're talking about is the 30-minute, is it headed up, like, you know, like pushing up. Now here you can see,
it is.
right, so look at your 30-minute. Now the 30-minute is crossed over. Yeah, go down to your RSI. RSI. Okay, left. That's the end of the yellow line. No, start right there. Yeah. You see how it crossed right there? So this means here that you would be waiting for this to cross back. Okay? So now, in this section here, let's roll to the 15-minute and see where the 15-minute is. So right now we have a 30-minute that is going sideways. So to confirm,
It's not headed down.
not headed down. So now you go to the 15 to see if that's going to push it down, right? So looking at the 15 is like,
So I should write if 30-minute headed sideways.
use the 15 as a guide.
Use 15-minute RSI as guide, right?
Yeah. Now here you see the yellow line, right? And we see the 15-minute headed up, right? So that means that we wouldn't take this trade until the 15-minute started headed down, right? So put a line, take a trend line, or take the green box, make a green box, and put the green box where the 15-minute starts to head down.
Minute starts to head down.
Yeah.
You're right here.
Yep. Mark it up. Okay, so that's the area of the trade. All right, perfect. Now slide over to your 3-minute. All right, so what we're looking for in this zone here, that little bitty green box, we're looking for a red moon, a red trend, right? and negative volume. So measure out.
We don't.
So
We
pull,
have the red moon.
right, and you have a red trend in there, right? So now pull that box down because it's going to be when you see that zone, you're going to enter right at the top of that those candles right there. All right, so you have a red moon, you have a red trend, so you'd be entering somewhere on that, yeah, somewhere around there. So pull that green box down to right about there, yeah, yeah, there you go. Now go to the bottom of that red, and what does that give you?
0.79.
Okay, put that in there. So theoretically, if you got in at point, let's say 0.5, if you're doing a 50x leverage on 0.5, you made 25%. If you're doing 100x, you made 50%. Okay, so that's your trade. So now that trade finishes, you get logged out. Bada boom, bada bing. Now that trade finishes, go back to your. You can see right there. There's a couple different little trades in it, but now that 2 hour has crossed, go back to your 1 hour map. All right, and that's kind of like the end of the trades, right? So 2 hour crossed, the 4 hour already crossed, and now that's the end. We've had our two multiple trades cross, which was the one went to the top and crossed, and the 2 hour came back and crossed, right? Sometimes they do that twice in a trade. Sometimes they do it 3 times. All depends on how much it's falling. Sometimes they do it once. Okay.
So now,
The bottom line is that the shorts are done when the 4 hour starts to head back up, right? So here you see where the 2 hour starts to head back up right there, right?
Right.
Okay, so that's kind of like once the bigger time frames start to head up, you're pretty much done. So once you did this last trade, you can see that they're all at the bottom. The next move that you're waiting for is another push down, right? But these trades kind of end. So now that those kind of hit, go back to your 3 minute, because this is where, okay, so see on the 1 hour. Now we're going to finish this out. You see where the 1 hour just crossed again?
I'm still wondering how in the world this translates to a current trade, but go ahead.
It's not a current trade. It's how the trades work.
I get how the trade. Okay, so I understand that, but
this is how you repeat the process.
All right.
All right. So now let's just forget about everything I was about to go over. Go over the current trade. What do you see? No, the current trade.
This one, the little green one.
No, that's not the current trade.
This one.
No, the current trade is the last candle. Where's the current trade?
Oh. Am I right here?
Yeah, the current trade. What do you
see? A green candle.
Right. But what do you see? What's happening?
It's risen.
No. How do we start looking for a trade?
We'll go back to a pullback trade first.
No. Why would we go to a pullback when it hasn't pumped? You're coming out of it just did 4 shorts in a row. Pullbacks are done after it pumps.
If it does four shorts in a row, then it should be starting to head back up.
Right. So why would you be doing a pullback trade?
Okay, you would, I guess, look for long trades then.
Look at the chart. What do you see?
I see it going up, but then it's starting to trade
How do
sideways.
we find trading zones?
Look at the 1 hour RSI crossing.
Okay, do you have that?
1 hour RSI, yes, right here.
Okay, make a box. Okay, make it a little bit big. Make it a little bit bigger because you're in the current trade, so you need to see the next candles. There you go. What color should that be?
1 hour gets to be white.
Yep. Okay, boom. What's after that happens, right? When a 1 hour crosses, what do we need?
When a 1 hour crosses, we look for a 15-minute red moon.
Okay. Yeah, go to the 15-minute red moon. Right, but that the 15 red moon is probably under the pullback trade, right?
Right. I don't have anything else. It goes from pullback, C trade, B trade, A trade.
Right. Those are the sessions of trades. So you can't apply a pullback trade steps to a trade that isn't a pullback. So this is the ending of a trade, right? So we just did 2 trades when the 1 hour went up and crossed back down, right? So it's finishing off the A trades, right? So
Okay.
now you're at the point where you're looking at a current trade. So
Right.
when you look at this current trade, you have a 1 hour crossing down, right? Correct?
Right.
Okay. So when that 1 hour crosses down, that triggers an alert. So you would type inside the Discord, you would say 1 hour Matic, 1 hour cross, period. Okay. Nothing else, just that it crossed. Okay. Now, once it crosses, right, we just went over the steps. The next thing that we need, right, because it's not a pullback trade, right? So we wouldn't be looking for a 1 hour cross, 3-minute red moon, 3-minute red trend, negative volume, right? Because we're not doing a pullback trade. Right now we're finishing up a trade. So once you have the 1 hour headed down, right? Like look at your current, go scroll out a little bit and take a look at the current trade zone. Like go back to your boxes. So right here and here, just take your mouse and take the candles
Yeah.
and pull them together.
Hold on a second. I lost my daggum trading view. I got so many stupid tabs open.
You're good.
Sorry. One second.
No, you're good, bro.
Where the crap did it go? There it is. All right. So what'd you say? Sorry.
All right, so now let's just start from the basics. Go back to your 1 hour.
Right.
So go to your 1 hour time frame.
Time frame.
Yep.
Okay.
Look to the left of the 1 hour time frame. So click on it and go to the very what we just did. Okay. Now look to your left. Keep going. Go to where we started, right? So make those my all right. So how did we start? We started with a 1 hour, right? After a pump. You see that pump? Right. So there's your 1 hour. So now you'd be looking for the 1 hour, right? And pullbacks normally come after pumps, right? Meaning that there's green volume, right? Currently, if you look at your 1 hour, do you have any green volume?
Just a little bit, right?
No.
Nothing,
Right.
No positive volume.
Yeah, candles aren't volume. Candles are candles, right? So there's no volume.
Okay.
Those are just movements. So that's not a pullback. So now that we have the 1 hour headed down, right? What's the second thing we need to happen?
1 second, I'm taking notes.
No, just look at the chart. It's right in front of you. That's what we just did.
1 hour headed down. I mean,
Look at the chart. Pull the chart to the side. What's the next thing that happens?
the C trade. We start looking for the C trade.
Right. So is the 2 hour headed down?
Oh, we checked the 2 hour. Okay. That's what you're trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, the steps.
No, I know. There's a lot of steps.
No, there's not. It's very simple. Right?
Well,
It's 1 hour crossing.
Once I send you this Word document, you're going to be like, okay, let's delete this, let's add this, and anyway.
Yeah, it's simple. It's 1 hour headed down crossing, 2 hour crossing. Do you have that?
1 hour headed crossing and 2 hour is not headed down.
Okay. So then this is Control Z. Let it go and hit Control Z. Okay. So now the next short, if there is going to be one, would be basically when the 2 hour starts to head down, right? That would create the C trade, right? But we don't trade C trades, right? We trade more in the A trade section, right? Now, what you have here is the end of the trade, because notice how your 4-hour has started to go against you here, right? So this is the end of the shorting area until the 4-hour rejoins, right? So it's kind of like you've hit a floor or a bottom. So you see it to your left, you see how you have the red box, and go to your 4-hour real quick. So this is how you know that you're kind of at the end of this coin, right? So notice here, see your 4-hour going up. Go to the RSI, right? See the RSI? The 4-hour is going up, right? So what that means is that the downward pressure, right, is half of what it used to be because it's starting to head up now, right? Now when that 4-hour, right, you see the green line, go to the green line above it. If that 4-hour green line, go down the middle and volume. If it goes, that green volume line hits the red line, instead of making a green moon for a long, if it rejects and starts to head back down, then this coin is going to go back into a short trend. Okay?
So wait. So all right, so 1 hour headed down, and then 4-hour.
Now, but this is all the same things. This is why I think people get confused. You trade in trading zones. The trading zone is this: 1 hour, 2-hour, and 4-hour headed down. You don't have that here. This is not a trade. Okay? The only way to make this a trade is if the 2 and the 4-hour start to go down.
2 and the 4. Okay.
Yeah, just like you started. The very first thing you did.
Unless you made it some kind of long trade.
Right, you'd be looking for longs, right? So the long trade, right, is what we just covered the other day. So the long trade goes like this. Go to your 15-minute. So now you have the 4-hour or the 4-hour headed up. So go to your 15-minute, right? Now, what is it? No, it's actually go to your 30-minute. This is your long trade. Go to your 30. So your long trade is 30-minute green moon, positive volume. Go to your 30-minute.
30-minute green moon,
positive volume.
positive volume.
Checklist.
I'm trying to write it. Hold on a second.
It's always the same. So when you have a green moon and you have positive volume, it's just the opposite of a short. So
then it would be green trend, green moon, positive volume.
yeah. Checklist.
Right?
Yeah. Checklist. 1 hour headed up. 30-minute headed up. 15-minute headed up.
You keep breaking up, VC. Say it one
you're
more
good.
time.
The checklist is exactly the same, except it's the opposite direction. So a long is a 30-minute green moon, positive volume on the 30-minute, positive volume. Right. So remember on the other trade, it was 30-minute negative volume. Mm-hmm. Now it's 30-minute positive volume. Checklist: 1 hour, 30-minute, 15-minute RSI, all headed up. Now, what makes it a long, right, or a better long, is when the 1 hour and the 2 hour are headed up with the 4 hour, right? That's the better long.
Wait, you said 1 hour and 2 hour? Or both
The more time frames you have going up with you makes it a better trade.
Okay.
So just like when we're shorting, we wait until the 4 hour crosses to start the B trades, which then become A trades based on volume. It is the exact opposite for a long trade. Once the 4 hour crosses up, right, that creates the beginning of the uptrend. Now, on this trade, you have the 4 hour headed up. So now you need the 1 hour and the 2 hour headed up, right? And then you would enter on a 30-minute positive volume, right? 30-minute positive volume with the checklist, which is what? 1 hour, 30, 15-minute RSI headed anywhere but down. Once you have that, you would then enter on the 3-minute green moon, green trend. No, hey, the bee's keys. I got you, bro. This will be inside the Discord, bro. You go back and watch the recording. Okay, so let's just walk through this trade. All right, first things first. Do you have positive volume on the 30-minute? So open up the 30-minute volume, make it so we can see it. Go down there, roll it up, use your mouse on the numbers. There you go. There you go.
Yes.
Okay.
Barely.
There's a little more. So, okay, go to your left and open it up a little more. Yeah, go to the numbers. Yeah, there's your numbers. Yeah, because you have your numbers messed up. Okay, right there. Where does the positive volume come in? Right there.
Right here.
Yeah, a little bit further. So the one more over, right? That's still negative. Yeah. So kind of like, yeah. Now, when that happens, right, at that point right there, what you need is everything to be in your direction, right? So let's go ahead and take a box and make a box right there and move sideways and make it a blue box.
Blue box. Right here.
Yep. There you go. Make it blue. All right. So when this happened, all right, at this moment here, because you have a 4-hour that crossed over, right? So where that red box ended, that means our 4-hour crossed over. So our entry, right, would be normally like the quickest entry that you could get into is that 30-minute green moon. You see that? See the 30-minute green moon? And then the 4-hour crosses over, right? So that would put you an entry on that middle candle there, right? But we don't take early entries because it's not confirmed, right? So now we wait for the green volume, which we see there. That's where we start our blue moon. So now what I want you to do is take a blue line, go get a trend line, put it down in the moon section, just a line, vertical line, just a vertical line right there. Okay, now turn it blue. Now that's just going to tell you that right there you have positive volume for your 30-minute. Now, when that happens, let's go to the checklist. We're going to start with the 1 hour. Go to your 1 hour, and let's see. And you can go to your trend. No. Go to your trend line, and put it in the RSI section. Put another line there, a blue line right below that one. Yeah. Okay. So now going to a long. You wouldn't have seen that because you're looking into the future, right? So at that time that you got your green volume, right? You see it on the 30? At that current time, you wouldn't have seen any of the things after that. So on that blue line, you would just notice that you just got 30-minute green volume. Go to your checklist. What's the checklist?
30-minute green moon.
Nah.
Positive
Checklists are RSIs. The trade is the 30-minute green moon with positive volume, which just triggered. So once a trade triggers.
All right, so I wrote on enter 30-minute positive volume, 1 hour, 30-minute, 15-minute RSI all headed up.
Okay. Let's go to your 1 hour. See if is the 1 hour headed up on that blue line.
Yes.
Okay. Go to your 30-minute.
Well, we were just at 30. 30 is headed down.
Okay. What does that mean? Go to your 15 to confirm.
15 is headed down.
Okay, so what's that mean?
It means don't do it.
Okay, there you go. Now, as we go through this, go back to your 30. Now you're waiting for the next 30-minute entry. Go back to 30. Okay, boom. You're sitting here. What's your next entry? What are you looking for?
Short.
No, you're looking for a long. That's why we're looking at positive volume.
I mean, I don't see anything right now. There's nothing here yet.
Okay. So you can't look for a short. You know why? Well, you can look for both trades, but here's the two trades that are happening. You need the 1 hour down, the 2 hour down, the 4 hour down. That would be a short. If you're looking for a long, then you would be looking for the 30-minute, right? Because right now, what do you have? You have the 4 hour headed
right
up.
Now, so right now, the 30-minute is headed down.
Look again.
Down. Oh, it's just barely coming up.
Yeah, but it already crossed. Right?
Oh.
So, at this moment, the 4 hour is doing what? Go to your 4 hour.
4 hour.
All right, so start with the biggest time frames to understand what you're doing. Biggest time frame. What's it doing?
4 hours headed up.
There you go. That means we're in a long position. Look at the 2 hour. What's it doing?
You didn't tell me to look at 2 hour before.
Well, we're doing longs now, brother. Pay attention.
Well, you didn't say that on here. I'll put it on here, but
No. We trade in the trends. These are the trading zones. It's just the opposite of what we just did. So if we're doing shorts, think about this. If we're doing shorts when the 4 hour is headed down, what do you think we're doing when the 4 hour is headed up?
we're doing longs.
There you go.
All
So,
right, so 2 hour headed up.
Perfect. What's next?
1 hour
There you go. What's it doing?
headed up and then going back down.
Okay, so that we're not in a long. But we're getting close, right? Because what do you see on the 1 hour? Look at the trend.
Trend. Oh, it just turned to green.
Yes, letting you know that it's building momentum. So we're probably looking at a long here. So what do you need for a long to happen?
30-minute positive volume.
Boom. That's the first thing. Once that happens, then you can go to the checklist. So what do you need to do here?
1 hour, 30 and 15-minute all headed up.
Yeah, but none of that matters unless what happens?
30-minute positive volume.
There you go. So go to the 30-minute and set your alert.
30-minute.
Right. So if you're going to watch this trade, what are you waiting for? Positive volume, right?
Right.
Okay. So that's what you're looking for.
How do I tell it to look for positive volume? How does
Let's see. So what you can do here is, I mean, we can look at like what that is. I don't know how to set them on these, but we can figure it out. But your next move is to watch this trade, and what you need is for that to give you positive volume. So to get an idea of what's coming, right, you go to the lower time frames. So if there's a 30-minute candle and you want to know what's coming halfway through, where do you go to? 15-minute, because that's half. There's 2 of those candles inside of the 3. So what is the 15-minute doing?
So green trend is going up.
Right. So that means that more than likely, you're probably going to get a 30-minute green volume here. See what I'm saying? So now you can start thinking to yourself that with that green trend and everything showing you that it's going up, what's the next move? The next move is... hold on. Oh, yeah. So the next move here is basically it's letting you know that everything's going your direction for a long. Get it? So the only thing that's holding you back from this long is what? The 1 hour. Yeah, positive volume and the 1 hour. Right? So right here, you pretty much, can see that this is going long. So now when you go here, right? Look, yeah. So notice there, this is very important, right? Exactly what you did right there. Go look at the red line. Yeah, don't worry about the RSI. Remember, the RSI are people. The volume is amounts. So pull that up. When that red line points up, when that red line points up, that's your entry. Right? That tells you right there, you are getting ready for a long. But you should have positive volume on the 30-minute by then. So go back to your 30-minute. when that turns green, if that red line on the 1 hour is headed up, then you know that you are in a long position, right? So then when you do your checklist, the only thing you're checking is the 30-minute right there. As you can see, the RSI is already headed up, right? This looks like a
Just don't have that
right,
positive volume.
and that's because it's 1 o'clock in the morning and there's nobody buying. But this looks like it's going to push up here. Okay, so in about an hour and 30 minutes, you're going to have London opening up, and more than likely they're going to push this up. So the odds of this being a trade that goes long are high here, right? So this is where you want to take the time and say, okay, this looks like we're going to get a long trade here, right? The only problem is your 1 hour is, kind of slowing you down there, but the 4 hour, the 2 hour, and all these other indicators are telling you that this is a long trade. All you need is your positive volume. Okay? That's what this comes down to. So to see where that is, go to your 15-minute, right? To give you that ideal.
Like 5 minutes.
No. 15, bigger time frames, right? So now, see right there, pull that up. Yeah. So now if that moves up one more time, then you're going to have that section there. So you're just waiting for your green positive volume to hit and your RSIs to be in the position basically where they're at now, shooting up. Because once those happen, your entry is going to happen on the 3-minute, right? So what's your 3-minute? Your 3-minute is going to be green moon, green trend. Do you have that already?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the other thing to let you know that it's a long is there positive volume on the 3-minute. Yeah. So more than likely,
could I in theory enter now?
yes, in theory you can enter now, but you would use your leverage would be 50x, right? So you can go ahead and hit this.
Through that real
Yeah,
quick?
go to MEXC.
Hold on. I don't have a lot in here anymore.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, like $20 or $15.
Yeah, just do the 10. You're just doing your test, or do 20, whatever it is, but because we're gonna keep a short little piece on it, right? So go ahead and move whatever you're moving over there, and I'll walk you through whatever you want to trade.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to pay some bills. Trust me. Transfer.
Yeah, you got me on the chart, so I can't see anything.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, just transfer whatever you're transferring over there.
That's not what I want. Why is it? Oh, it's
Oh, you
going
gotta
to
trade
algo.
it.
So I gotta go sell the algo first.
Yeah, so
right?
go to trade. Yep, trade. USDT. No, right there, yeah. Then go to market. Top left, right there.
Yeah.
Boom.
I made a mistake of going limit earlier today, and it never traded.
No, because it's a limit. Now sell all. All right,
It was
so
really
now
frustrating. I
go
was
back,
waiting.
top right wallet. Go to spot. Do your transfer, whatever you want. And technically here you could just go right to your futures, but it's all the same. Okay, so because in futures you can grab from your spot without coming in and out.
Oh, I don't think you can. I wasn't able to do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, go to. You need to go back. Go up to the top. You need to go to futures. Right there. Click the first one. There you go. Okay, so now if you want to transfer, go down. See where it says transfer down there?
They always ask me about these stupid contests.
Yeah, they're pretty good, man. If you're in them, they make a lot of money. All right, hit the little X's.
They just.
No,
I mean,
hit
I
X's,
wish
hit
they
X's.
would just say, "Do you want to enter all contests?" And I just say yes. Stop asking.
Hit the little X. Get it out of there. Okay. Now in here, there's a little transfer button, right? You can always transfer from here and grab from your spot.
Where do you see that at?
Bottom right, I'm next to deposit. See wallet? Go down, bottom right, wallet, and then deposit and transfer. No. Bottom. Go down. There you go. See transfer? No, to the right. It's transfer. To the right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That coin was called Matic.
Yeah. So go to Bitcoin, and if you want to do Matic, go to the little BTC on the left in black and type in Matic if that's what you're doing.
Yep.
Okay, so now go to your right, and what you want to do is make sure that you're isolated and you're doing your leverages. So, yeah, scroll up a little. And okay.
Isolated.
Yeah, you're good. Go to
50?
yeah, you want to be playing around 50 if you're just starting, so that way you have some area to move. And then here, you're gonna go long. So whatever you're doing on the long, do that other slider.
So how much?
Okay, so before you enter, right, go to your Matic chart. Go to your chart. You need to look at the 3 minute.
Trading view?
Yeah, you need to, like, we gotta move quick though here. All right, so we're looking at the 3 minute. It's normally your RSI is pushing the top there. You're getting in. Go to your 30 minute real quick. See if we got some volume. All right, we're looking pretty good. So now go to your 1 minute because the 30 minutes at the top, right? So because you're entering with your RSI at the top, you see that 1 minute RSI, that 1 minute right there coming down? Hit your Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Okay. So what you're always going to do is you need this to hit the bottom and start to push up, right? So you want the best entry. Right. So while
it's about to.
yeah. So now go back to your Mech C. Okay. And
You almost need two monitors to do this.
sometimes, unless you're quick. Once you get quicker as you go along.
All right.
All right. So let me. I don't see the Mech C. I'm looking at the other thing.
Oh, I hate it. I wish.
All right. So now you're gonna have this thing come down a little. So when you go up, there should be a place where you have the last price, right? Why does yours look like that? Yeah.
Limit.
Yeah. Put on limit now. Put last price. And then what you're going to do is change the last of it. So I see how it's like 50 cents and then 88. So just make it 51 cents. Right? You just want it to be a little. Yeah, you just want it to be higher than the current price so that when you go to get in, it buys in. So now, yeah, slide to whatever you're doing. A lot of times if you have all that you want to do in there, it's like, 99 and they're 98 percenters or whatever around there. Okay, so now this is where you would open. Right. What you're looking for is that 1 minute. You're probably in that same little zone there. It's fighting, but yeah, you can go ahead and take your trade there. All right, so that'll get you in. So now it should have an open trade position far left, right? What you do. Okay, so now go to your ad. This is where your ROE. You're gonna type in. Nah, don't worry about that. Yeah. So there, you're gonna be looking for profit. So start it off at 50, because you're gonna be watching this trade, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're just going to be moving your stop loss. So start your stop loss off. Put it at 25.
Oh, 25.
Yep. And confirm. There you go. And that's pretty much it. Now you're in this little bitty trade, and you're waiting on your 30-minute confirmation, right? So what I want you to do here is go to your trading view. Watch your 30-minute confirmation, right? Because that's what you're waiting for is the volume, right? So I can't see the trading. Okay. Now go to your 30-minute.
30-minute.
Yeah. And what we need is the positive volume here, right? So what I want you to do here, yeah. So what I want you to do here is when it hits the green volume, I want you to look at your Mech C and see where your percentage, right? Whether you're negative or positive, okay? So that you can understand that when you wait for the confirmations to hit, that's the difference of where you would be in your trade. You understand what I'm saying? So let's say that
versus getting in now, you're saying.
Yes. The second thing I want you to look at is go to your 3-minute, and what I want you to do is watch the 3-minute RSI, the price that it currently is, right? And versus where the 3-minute price goes when this comes all the way down and starts to go back up. Because normally, a lot of times what you would do is you'd be waiting for that 3-minute to reset. And then once it resets, you would go in. Now, the difference here is you have a lot of volume here, right? So it might not reset as much as it did last time. So you see where it reset earlier? See how it had a pullback? You can see how the red candle's right before that? Yeah, right. The next one. Yeah. So that's the first pullback. Then it had a push. So I want you to monitor that, because a lot of times what you want to do here is you're learning entries. So your entry here would be letting that 3-minute start to head down, and then when it starts to head back up, that's when you would make your decision, right?
So like
Sometimes it won't get that far. Sometimes it'll turn up before that. So the only thing that looks good here, right, is look at the red line, right? The only thing that looks good here is go down, right there. Yeah. The only thing that looks good here is your green line is already starting to push up, right? So which means there's more capital coming in. Even though there's less people buying, they're buying more. Get it? So
Okay.
on the relative strength index, it's showing that the buyers are becoming less and less, but your volume is letting you know they're buying more. So right now there's bigger buyers. Get it? The RSI is the number of buyers. The green is the amount they're buying. You see what I'm saying?
So if this green line was like all the way down here, but the volume was still crazy, then I know my whales are in there.
Correct. That's the way to look
Right?
at it. Right. So a lot of times here, it's where entering early, it's like, okay, if the 3 minutes crossing down like it is here, you would let that 3 minute cross, and when it starts to head back up is when you would make your move. Or when that red line starts to head up, you would go for your entry. Right? So look at those 2 points and say, okay, if I waited until that red line started headed up, right? So kind of like that green, like that red line, right? So go to your red line in the volume, not that one, the one above it. Yeah, when that starts to head up, look at the price. Okay, and then that would tell you where your entry should have been. Okay, but this is you learning the different parts of entries, right? This is why you have to focus on this part. All right. Sometimes you win this, sometimes you don't, right? But it's always to be in the same scenario over and over, so this way you're making the same steps, so that you
Well,
can.
I hope I win. I'm tired of giving away $10 every day. Or,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
So you
I'm
should
giving
be
away a lot more than that.
right. So going over the other parts of those trades, right? You understand now where to trade in your trading zones.
I'll definitely be watching the video probably 20 times, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna end this right there. And we'll cut, and then just that's the basis of it, man. So you have to just follow those same rules over and over.